Welcome back to the Summit. I'm Russ Small. With me, Aeros coach Katie Ruskowski. Coach, you've dropped a couple coming into this game, and I guess it all starts with defense.
Well, I tell you, it really hurt us when we lost our three defensemen, when Velamont and Grant and Hunt went down. And things are going real well at that point. We were starting to put some wins together. We're starting to play with confidence. And when those three guys go out of the lineup, there's going to be a big void in there. And our young guys had a chance to play, and they just haven't matured yet. And they're making mistakes that usually they shouldn't be making. And the other team is taking advantage of that by scoring goals.
Now, Carl Velamont is going to try to play tonight. Will you be watching him early to see how much mobility he has on that knee?
Well, I tell you, he played last night, and he was real sore. And he's going to try it again tonight. We're going to go with 5 defensemen tonight. See if more ice time for these guys will make them, propel them to play a little bit better. So we're going to try that, and if it doesn't work, we may put Kevin Deneen back there for a while.
Well, interesting you talk about Kevin Deneen, because when the defense plays great, we praise the defensemen. When they play poorly, we criticize them. But indeed, sometimes the forwards can have a lot to say about how the defense performs.
If they come back and help the defense, it's going to be a great asset for them. And that's what we have to do. We have to come back hard and really make sure our defense stand up. And if they lose pucks, the forwards have got to get it and go back to the other end and try to score goals. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes we blame the defense when actually the forwards are to be blamed. But last game there was 3 goals that the forwards did, or the defense did pinch when they shouldn't be. And again, with a veteran team like Kansas City, they just made us pay.
Well, 1994 was exciting around here in the hockey circles, and I hope you get 94 ended and 95 a great year for the Aeros.
Well, thank you, Cowboy.
We'll be back with more of the Aeros and the Wolves here at the Summit.
And the Chicago Wolves. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups first for the visiting Chicago Wolves. At center, Todd Harkins. At left wing, the veteran, longtime Chicago Blackhawk, Al Secord. Right wing, Alexander Selivanov. On defense, Kevin McDonald and Gordy Roberts. And starting in goal, Wendell Young, who had to spell Ray LeBlanc last night. And there's Wendell Young with a 7-8-4 mark, 4.04 goals against average, 87.9 on the save percentage. Starting lineups for the Houston Aeros tonight. Up front, it'll be the line of Clayton Young, Mike Yeo, Graham Townsend. Defensively, Steve Jackson, Oleg Shargarodsky, and in goal, Troy Gamble. 8-7-3 mark, 3.59 goals against average, and we're underway. He's got to come up big. Puck is in Houston territory. It'll come to the near side. It's Clayton Young banging out to center. McDonald popped it back into Houston territory, and out is Oleg Shargarodsky now. He'll carry it from right to left. Now Shargarodsky brings the puck over the line. He's tripped up. It's worked away by Secord of the Chicago Wolves. Secord trying to clear. That's bumped by Townsend. Secord again. Now he coughed it up. Yo trying to jam the puck away. And now it's worked out to the right side. And it's brought in by Harkins, and play whistle down. We've played 36 seconds here in the first, no score.
You know, there are certain games along a season that a team wants to win. It's still the same 2 points as any other game. But there's certain games like you play just before Thanksgiving. You say, hey, let's get this one. It kind of marks a certain date. And New Year's Eve is a traditional hockey night. And although it's just one more game and just 2 more points on the line, teams like to end the 1 year and get going into the next year with a victory. These teams both coming off losses last night. So a very important victory that both teams want badly to get here New Year's Eve 1994.
Todd Harkins trying to win the draw now, and it's back in Chicago territory. Harkins back to get it near side. Also jumped down there. Kevin McDonald on defense for the Chicago Wolves. Hackborn knocked the puck away. Secord's got it left side. Bangs one along the boards. It's out to center. Well, Selivanov had to go back into his own zone. We've played a minute here in the first period. No score. Now the puck goes in. It'll be cycled along the boards to the near side. Maurice has got it. Chicago territory. It is Maurice, base to the left circle. Hackborn bumped off there by McDonald. They continue to spar and joust as Wendell Young covers up the puck and play whistle down with 18:52 to go in the first, no score. Other games going on tonight in the IHL. Busy night. Phoenix is at Atlanta, Cincinnati at Cleveland, Las Vegas at Denver, Milwaukee at Fort Wayne. The Soviet Wings Kings at Indianapolis, Detroit at Kalamazoo, Peoria, Kansas City. That's a game we'll be watching closely for second place in the Central Division. And San Diego is at Minnesota.
As I said, New Year's Eve, traditionally a busy night in hockey, and so the schedule full in the International Hockey League. Face off in the circle to the right of Young.
Here is Mark Freer. He's out there with Arneal and Tippett now. So that's one of the changes tonight for Terry Ruskowski. Shargorodski a shot. That's deflected away, and now into the near corner, Sean Rivers. He'll pump one up to the near side. It's cleared by Ted Crowley out at center. Now here come the Wolves down the left side. Here's the shot. Gamble makes the save as coming down the left side. That was Steve Maltais. Now the puck is picked up. Actually, that was Lee Davidson that came down, not Maltais. It was Davidson that came down with a shot. Gamble made the save, and here is Shargorodski now in behind the net. Oleg Shargorodski. He'll turn the puck now. Oleg, a pass out to center ice for Mark Freer. Fired it into Chicago territory. Back to get it is Maltais, but instead, Wendell Young, the goalie, will play it away. Now to Steve Jakes for Houston. Right wing boards. Pass for Arneal. Trying to barrel in on goal. Here's Arneal. Wait, shoots, and Wendell Young, a stick save. Arneal trying to shake off the check, and it wasn't a particularly strong shot as Carl Valamont lets one go. Young makes the stop as he closes the pillow. Maybe that thing may have trickled behind him, but he will hold on.
He thought so. He's looking behind him. He just squeezed those pads and then looked around, hoping he wasn't going to see that puck going in behind him. Good opportunity even before that shot. Arneal was set up by Jakes, and then Jakes' defensive partner Valamont gets a good shot away from the point, and squeezing those pads was Wendell Young. The Arneal chance that preceded it, sent in by Jakes, couldn't get a lot on the shot, but he tested the goaltender, and that in part helped set up Valamont from the point just seconds later, and the faceoff still in the zone.
No score in the hockey game. 2 minutes gone in this first period. Clayton Young against Tim Berglund. Top of the puck, Aeros have got it. Valamont left point, drifts it down. It's feathered behind the net. Wendell Young comes out. 11 NHL seasons, 177 games in the NHL for Wendell Young. Played sparingly last year, was coming through a lot of injuries as he played in Tampa Bay.
On back-to-back Stanley Cup teams back in 90-91.
Here is Clayton Young now, trying to fire a puck along the boards. And Grant Townsend running into Steve Maltais, and that was a head-on collision. Wow, both went down in a heap. Play it center now. Here is Young with Townsend across the line. Shoot, scores! Clayton Young, and the Aeros get off to a good start. 2:37 in the hockey game, 1-0 Houston.
Clayton Young just blasting it by his namesake, Wendell Young. The 14th goal of the year for Clayton. He breaks in with Graham Townsend. And do not forget that hit in the corner by Townsend, which really set up this play. Doesn't factor into the scoring part of the play, but it really got the Aeros jumping in that forward zone, and the fans into it, and Clayton Young into it. And Clayton Young goes in and puts it away 1-0 in favor of the Aeros.
Clock is in Houston territory. Oh, a nice shot by Young, and here come the Aeros again. Hackborn fired it into Chicago territory. Back is Salivanov. He'll fire it over to Al Secord. Chipped it up for Harkins, but instead it comes to center, and Shargorodski takes over for Houston. Rolls a puck ahead for Maurice, but it's back into Chicago territory. Now Kevin Adine jammed the puck away from Secord. He's got it. Kevin Adine top of the slot, rolled one down. Here's a chance, and Wendell Young there to sweep it away. Now Hackborn to the line. Shargorodski, long shot goes wide. We're going to get our first penalty of the night. Secord to play the puck, and we'll get a whistle as our referee tonight, Kevin Atchison, has a penalty. And when we return, we'll bring in the Aero power play. 1-0 Houston.
Excuse me, Shuddy.
In the NFL, there's only one sports drink, and it's gotta be Gatorade.
Ring in the new year of sports this January on HSE. First, pop the cork on the NBA. That's the Rockets, Spurs, and Mavs toast the rest of the league. The college kids won't be babies this year as they make resolutions to win, win, win. Then the Aeros are ready to hand out the black eyes for good luck as the IHL prepares for the All-Star Game. Start the new year off with a celebration of sports this January on HSE.
Along with Russ Small, Adam Gordon with you. 2 minutes up on the board now to Todd Harkins and the Aeros. Go on the power play, and Russ, this goes into the second point we talked about, the Oshman's game plan.
Absolutely, the power play, just 2 of 30 over their last 6 games. So they've gotten out to a good start here. They've protected Troy Gamble well in his end. The defensemen and the forwards have cooperated, have communicated, have put a goal on the board. And now it's time to get the power play going.
Here's Shagarodski now. He'll roll the puck to Scott Arniel at the right circle. Arniel slammed it down for Mark Freer. Centered it, blocked by Wendell Young. Kevin Deneen trying to bounce one in there. Now Arniel back top of the slot. Shagarodski get it to Arniel. Getting set at the hash marks. Arniel now. Still with a puck, cross ice pass, tip it, walk, shoots. Oh, that just went wide of the net. Now to come back to center ice. Boy, the Aeros came close there as it's Dave Tippett left side. Jams the puck into Chicago territory. This is what the Aeros have been wanting to do, but the puck now will be cleared to center. And here comes Lee Davidson now. Played pretty well last night. In the Milwaukee loss, one of the only guys that they felt played well as a shot came on. Gamble a save, and the puck picked up now by Dave Tippett. But watch the Aeros on this power play. One thing they weren't able to do very well last night that they will, harder rim shots, harder dump ins so that the goalie can't slow it. Here's Shagarodski, plays it to the far corner. First one back is Sean Rivers. He'll clear it to center. Again, watch if they do it. They'll come down one side, dump it in hard, so that the goalie can't come into it very well. Now the Aeros trying to get the possession of the puck. Here's Kevin Deneen at the hash mark. Back to a right point. Shagarodski for Arniel. Scott Arniel, he's got 49 on the power play. Arniel gets it back. Shagarodski, top of the slot. The shot just whistled wide. Now in the corner, Mark Freer trying to shake off a check from Tim Berglund. It's Valamont, left point. Shagarodski shoots, blasted a bullet just wide of the net. And the Wolves, Jack Duffy trying to clear Connaught. Held in by Valamont. Mark Freer now, out of left wing, getting set. Slipped it down for Kevin Deneen. Back to Freer in the circle, left side. Freer waltzes, sends it in for Shagarodski. The shot he found on it. And now it is Scott Arniel. Back to the line for Shagarodski. Oleg, long shot deflected in front. Here's the shot by Freer. Great stop by Wendell Young. And the Wolves now will shoot it down the ice.
Good setup. The Aeros defenseman playing well. Carl Valamont with an assist on the Young goal. His 200th career assist. He hit the 200-point mark just back before Thanksgiving.
Now Clayton Young with the power play now over. Keep it by the side. Valamont pinching. Flipped the puck behind the net. Took a bump and looked like on one of the knees there. He was kind of upended, but you just kind of cringe every time you see anybody bump the knee. Now the puck back in Chicago territory. Secord trying to clear. Chitteroni on his case comes up with the puck centered. Jake's trying to flip one out in front, and he's tied up by Gordy Roberts. They go at it along the boards. Here is Al Secord. A pass up to Harkins as he's just out of the penalty box. Todd Harkins now through the neutral zone. Across the line. Trying to move around Gaza with a shot far side, just missing the net. Al Townsend couldn't play the puck, and now it is Gordy Roberts. Pass to the right side for McDonald. And Kevin McDonald will shoot it into Aero territory. Out of the net, Gamble, and here is Steve Jakes in the corner. Jakes tipped one up for Clayton Young, and he'll turn with 4. We played 6 minutes here in the first. 1-0. The Aeros lead it. Chitteroni, nifty little pass to Townsend across the line. Pulls up left side, trying to center. Instead, he goes behind the net for Goslin at a right point now. Down for Chitteroni. Mario with a puck to Jakes. One-time shot deflected by Salvanov. That'll go up and out of play with 6 minutes gone here in this first period. 1-0 Aeros. I wanted to bring up a point here, Russ, that you had brought up about Carl Valamont. Last night he had it heavily taped. Tonight I think he's going to go without the tape.
Well, he's trying to increase the mobility. That heavy taping is great. It keeps it immobile, which, you know, when your knee is banged up, you want to do. But as you try to play a little better hockey, you need to get a little more mobility. You need to be able to start, stop a little quicker, go left, right, especially a little quicker, especially for a defenseman who so often is going in one direction and quickly has to go in a different direction. So he needed to loosen it up a little bit to increase mobility. The Aeros off to a good start. They lead 1-0. Clayton Young at 2:37 of the first period. His 14th from Valamont and Jakes. The Aeros have 7 shots on goal to Chicago's 2.
Now Brian Pellerin and Steve Maltais getting a little jostling match going on as they prepare for the face-off. Wolves win it. And we're going to try and track face-offs tonight. The Aeros really struggled in that department last night, and we're going to track them tonight and see how much better they do. They lose that one now as it's Berglund across the line, moved around Robinson, but the Aeros back. Valamont flipped it down the ice, and back hustling in his own zone. They get it as Sean Rivers. This will be an icing call with 13.5 to play in the first. 1-0 Houston.
Let's bring you up to date of some things happening out of town. Atlanta defeated Phoenix 3-2. That game in Atlanta. Cleveland leads Cincinnati 6-2 at the end of 2. Detroit leads at Kalamazoo, 1-0 at the end of one. Peoria leads at Kansas City. That's good for the Aeros. 3-1 at the end of a couple of periods. Vegas is at Denver tonight. We've got San Diego trailing at Minnesota 1-0 in the third period, and 1-0 Fort Wayne over Milwaukee in the third period.
Here is Brian Pellerin now at center ice. He'll barrel down the right side. I know he'd like to have a better game. This is a kid that played 6 straight games, 6 or 7 games in a row, just high octane levels. And then last night let up a little bit. And I think you're going to see Brian Pellerin right back to where he was. Puck is in Houston territory now, and it's picked up by the Aeros. Maurice trying to swing one to center, and out is Len Hackborn. Hackborn pass over to the right side for Pellerin, trying to find Hackborn again. The centering pass is blocked by Ted Crowley of the Wolves. And now here come the Chicago Wolves. It's a pass now. Maltais to the left side, trying to feather it to Berglund. Right back in front, a centering pass. That's knocked to the near corner. Berglund in there trying to jam it free. And Maltais in a battle now with Hackborn. It comes to the line. Kevin McDonald couldn't hold it in. In fact, it slipped over the glass and into the Aero bench with 12:50 to go in the first. 1-0. Houston leads it, and we'll be back after this.
At Southwest Airlines, some of our most important projects never get off the ground. Like our South Mountain Park project in Phoenix, where we spent a day replanting trees and shrubs destroyed by summer brush fires. Or our Midwest Flood Relief Project, where we gathered tons of food and supplies to aid thousands of people whose homes were ravaged by floods. Why are some of our most rewarding projects so down to earth? Because we're not a company of planes, we're a company of people.
1965 to 1995, celebrating 30 years of the Astrodome, the original. Remember when?
September 26, 1981. The Astros, in the thick of a pennant race with the Los Angeles Dodgers, need a quality outing from Nolan Ryan. What they get is the Ryan Express's record 5th no-hitter as the Astros beat Los Angeles 5-0.
Celebrating 30 years of the Astrodome, the original.
Troy Gamble and the Aeros leading 1-0 with 12:50 left in the first.
Gamble hasn't been tested an awful lot. His defense playing well in front of him. The shots on goal, 7-2, favoring Houston. You talked about face-offs, needing to win the face-offs. The Aeros have won 6 of the 8 face-offs to this point in the game.
Here is Steve Jakes now, right side. He'll carry the puck to center ice. Ran into the boards and ran into one of the Chicago Wolves along the far side. We've got an injured Wolf behind the play. I didn't see this.
No.
Here's a puck now centered. I'm trying to see the number. I think it's Todd Gillingham who's down.
It is Todd Gillingham. And he's just down flat, being attended to, holding his face. Looks like he might have a cut in the forehead. His helmet is off.
I didn't see anything. I was watching the puck on the far side. He's on the near side in front of the Chicago bench.
I don't know if he just tripped, if he hit a rut on the ice, if he just lost a blade, if somebody got a stick on him inadvertently, or I have no idea.
The referee Kevin Atchison talking to his linesman Bob Williams and Randy Cox about if maybe they missed something, if one of the linesmen saw it. Tell you what, Randy Cox might be used to something. He took a puck in the eye last night. They had to move him out of I think it was the first period for stitches.
Well, the Wolves bench is talking to the officials and asking why he didn't call anything. But if Gene Ubriaco and anybody in the Wolves bench saw what happened, they are the only ones, because nobody else did. We didn't. I don't believe our cameras caught it. Nobody in the building seems to know what happened. Nobody on the ice is complaining too vehemently about something having gone on that wasn't called. So I don't think anybody really knows why the Wolves winger Todd Gillingham was down on the ice.
I saw it. I'm just not going to tell you.
He was bleeding a bit too.
Yeah. He's back in there though. He's back out there and he's asking why no penalty. So obviously something. And I don't know what it would be though.
No, neither do I, and nobody else does. So let's drop the puck and play.
12:35 left here in the first. 1-0. Houston leads it. They say it's going to be, if not a sellout, it's going to be pretty darn close.
Good crowd already on hand. The starting time pushed back a little bit to coincide with New Year's and the Doug Supernaw concert that's going to be here in the Summit after the game. Going to be a lot of fun. The fans are having fun. The Aeros are having fun. I'm having fun, and the Aeros lead 1-0.
Clayton Young trying to win the draw, but the Wolves have got it, though. And it's sent to center ice back into Houston territory. It'll go Gamble out of the cage. He'll slow it for Oleg Shagarovsky. Oleg pass to the right side, misses Townsend. This will be icing as the Wolves go back for it. Back to touch for the Chicago Wolves is Kevin McDonald, and that is icing in the face-off back in Aero territory.
You know, one thing the Aeros have done a lot of lately is score early. A week or so ago, they scored, I think it was the 48-second mark. And they came back the game after that, and they scored at the 2:02 mark of the first period. Tonight, they have scored at the 2:37 mark here in the first period. So they've been getting out to quick starts, and that's good. They have to maintain it, sustain it here throughout the game. 1-0, the Aeros lead. Clayton Young's 14th goal. Face-off now in the circle to the right of Troy Gamble.
Well, the Aeros are 12-5-1 when they score first. Here's the puck in with a quick shot. Gamble got a piece of it, and then it just scooted wide of him. Now Kevin McDonald flipped one out in front. Jake's trying to work it away. It's picked up by the Wolves now. Base of the circle. Sullivanov centered one. That's deflected away. And it's back out to center ice for Ian Kidd. He's watched by Townsend. Puck to center. And it's jammed away by Harkins. Now Shagarovsky's got it. Hits the line as he popped it into the far corner. Townsend, he's run into by Secord, and also in there was Harkins. Puck behind the net. Clayton Young trying to dig for it, but it's Kevin McDonald. A pass to the right side. And it's Sullivanov for Al Secord. A long-time NHL veteran, Chicago Blackhawk veteran, dumps the puck in. Secord, base of the right circle now. Sends a puck back to the left point. Here's the chance now. The drive by Gordy Roberts. Blocker saved by Gamble. Puck in front. A backhander by Sullivanov. Couldn't get a good one away. And the Aeros have got it. Oleg Shagarovsky. He'll just dish it out to center ice. And there was Jack Duffy. He'll shoot it into Aero territory. Back is Jakes. 11:15 to play in the first. Aeros lead at 1-0 on Clayton Young's goal. He got a goal, his 14th of the year. Puck along the near side now. It's batted away by Kevin Lee. That is going to be offside. And he knew it, but he wanted to let that shot go. And now we've got Maurice getting into it with Gillingham. So now I'm kind of wondering if maybe Gillingham went right for Maurice after the whistle there.
Yeah. Maybe Mike had something to do with the blood that's on the ice and dripping down from Todd Gillingham's forehead. You know, look out there and see veterans like Al Secord and Gordy Roberts. 1982, I was doing Minnesota North Stars hockey, and Gordy Roberts was already a veteran in the National Hockey League with Minnesota. Now, folks, that's 12 years ago. There's a guy who's been around a while, native of Detroit.
Oh, I thought you were saying you or him.
Well, needless to say, I've been around a while, but I don't have to get out there and lace them up and skate 60 minutes every couple of nights. Gillingham and Maurice both going out here for cross-checking.
Hackborn out there with Kevin Deneen now. Robinson and Goslin defensively. We'll go 4-on-4 now for a couple of minutes. We played 9 minutes here in the first period. 1-0 Aeros lead it. Puck in Chicago territory. Wendell Young out of the net. He'll slow the puck for Jack Duffy. Now sends it back, and it's picked up by Gordy Roberts. Now out at center ice. Wolves bring it in. Here's a puck now for Duffy. Quick shot deflected away. Now a centering pass hit the side of the net as Timmy Breslin let that fly, and it's worked away by Rob Robinson. Out at center for Steve Goslin. Goslin shakes off the check from Duffy, stays with the puck. Now Goslin trying to make the move. He brought it in but lost the puck, and here come the Wolves now. Goslin's got to hustle back into the play, but now it's turned around by Deneen. He caught the Wolves changing. Here is Goslin. Right back. Deneen shoots. Oh, what a stop by Wendell Young. That was a play that just took a weird turn of events as Goslin tried to work it right back to Deneen. Deneen almost got it, and it was one of the Wolves that almost pumped it into his own net.
Went off one of the defenseman's sticks.
Now Berglund back to the line. It's controlled by Sean Rivers, trying to work it down, but Kevin Deneen is there for Houston. He flipped it along but couldn't clear it. Now here's a long shot from the sharp side from Maltais. Not in there as Crowley held it at the right point. Now for Maltais behind the net. Maltais works in front, tried to stuff it, had a roll off his stick. Now a chance, Sean Rivers shoots, Gamble the save, and we're going to get a penalty on the Houston Aeros. 9:46 to go in the first. There will be a holding minor coming up to Houston as the Aeros now lead at 1-0, but they'll be shorthanded. Aeros or their penalty killing, that hasn't been the problem. Their penalty killing has been outstanding. outstanding as of late. It's one of the top penalty killing units in the IHL, third best.
Especially at home. Deneen with an opportunity to make it 2-0 in favor of the Aeros. Kind of partially fanned on the centering pass. Had some help on the fan by Tim Breslin, but the puck makes its way on goal anyway. And Wendell Young makes the save, and we come right back. And Goslin is called for the holding penalty, and so the Aeros, an 83.7% penalty killing team. That's very good. And they'll be tested here by the Chicago Wolves, looking for the equalizer.
A lot of ice here, too. 4-on-3 for Chicago now. Puck is in Aero territory. Sean Rivers, right point now. Rivers drifting back, top of the slot. Sends the puck down now for Lee Davidson. Back to the line. Rivers now works with the puck. Lets a shot go deflected, and I think that went straight over the net. Now the puck to the near side. Rivers trying to pinch, but it's bumped to center. And back into Chicago territory. 9:26 to go in the first. 1-0. The Aeros lead it. And in 19 seconds, we'll be back to 5-on-4. Here's Ted Crowley. Sends the puck in. It's popped for Ed Courtney. He lost it. Aeros turn and clear it. Carl Valamont. Now it's back into Chicago territory. Wendell Young out. Aeros lead at 1-0, and in 4 seconds, we'll be at 5-on-4 hockey. Crowley, pass at center ice. Controlled Lee Davidson through the neutral zone. Now to Sean Rivers. He'll dump the puck in, gamble out of the net, and it's picked up by Freer, and he'll shoot it right back out to center ice.
The Aeros are the league's best home ice penalty killers. That's pretty good. That bodes well for this opportunity here for Chicago.
Steve Maltais now shoots the puck in. It'll go right to Gamble, though, and he'll hand it over to Rob Robinson. Robinson trying to bang it ahead. And there was Scott Arneal trying to bat it out. I think he got a piece of that and sent it down.
You know, the worst road penalty killers in the league are these Chicago Wolves, but they've killed off their one-man disadvantage of this first period.
Here's a puck down on the left side for Alexander Selivanov. Off the puck in Aero territory. Now it is Maltais in the corner to the left of Gamble. He's bumped by Robinson. Still on the power play for half a minute. Chicago. Selivanov in the corner. Worked it to the line. Not out as it's held in by the Wolves on the point. Now it's back. Here's Ian Kidd, top of the slot, takes the shot, rolled it down to Maltais, top of the right circle. Maltais, cross-ice, centering pass for a breaking Harkins, couldn't pull the trigger. Now it is Gordy Roberts, out of left point to the right side for Ian Kidd, jam the puck down. Here's Maltais cutting in with a shot, and then Gamble got a piece of that through traffic. And now it is worked back to the line. Todd Harkins to the right point. Ian Kidd jammed it down. Here's Harkins slicing down low. That's tipped away by Robinson. Penalty now over. Teams at 5 aside. Goslin back out on the ice. Harkins down low. Selivanov takes a check from Arneal. I'll tell you what, Arneal's had a couple of shifts already. He looks a little perturbed the way things have been going. He's come out and he's been very aggressive here. Looks very sharp in the early going as the Aeros shoot the puck down. That is icing. And we'll pause for a timeout. 7:28 to play in the first. Aeros lead at 1-0, and we'll be right back.
What if I was the coach in crunch time? I'd say, fellas, listen up. Here's what we're going to do. Line up here. You here, you there, you over there, you by there. Inbound here, you pick for him. He bounces out, look for him under there, and he'll put it in. Always works to perfection.
The champs got to keep their eyes on the kids.
On second thought, if I was the coach in crunch time, I wouldn't need this clipboard. I tell these fools to sit down. I'm flying solo.
Rockets, Mavs, Tuesday night, 7:30, live on HSE.
Do it!
Houston leading Chicago with 7:28 to play in the first period. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small.
You know, with some great attendance the last few nights, including this terrific crowd here tonight, the Aeros have moved up to number 3 in the International Hockey League in attendance figures. The only two above them are Detroit and Chicago, and those are two cities feeling the loss of their National League teams. And we can understand why everybody's gravitated. Here in Houston, it's just terrific what the team has done and what you fans have done to come on out here and support this franchise.
Here's Shargoronsky with a long shot block. Clayton Young with a quick snapshot. And Wendell Young down. And now we've got Chitteroni getting into it with one of the Wolves. Secord's in there. And here we go. We've got everybody to the left of goalie Wendell Young. This started with Chitteroni, and I think it was Kevin McDonald that got into it. And then Secord had to get in there as well. interesting point. I don't know. I'd like to see that again.
Now this thing started with just a couple of guys. Now there's 10 of them. There's going to be penalties for sure. I don't think anybody actually should get a fighting penalty, but there was some roughing probably going on down there. And there could be a misconduct or two that comes out of this with people jumping into the fray.
Sean Rivers is going to the box. Mario Chitteroni is going in for Houston. And everybody's still kind of clutching a little bit as Mike Yeo is locked up with one of the Wolves. I can't see his number. Secord seems to have settled a little bit here. Now Yeo wants to go. Yeo is going to fight with Kevin McDonald. Yeo with an overhand right and still firing away. The 21-year-old with a couple of rights. McDonald says, I want some lefts. Yeo says, you're going to get more rights, and they continue to spar at the base of the circle. Now Yeo has his helmet knocked off. Some lefts by McDonald, not much on him. Yeo got him with a couple of quick rights. McDonald trying to ragdoll him loose. And right now they're in a pretty good clutching and grabbing bout. And there is a couple of rights and a left followed by McDonald that may have clipped the face of Yeo. Then Yeo fires back with a right. What a bout here.
They're going to tire each other out here pretty soon. This one's almost over.
Linesmen need to get in there now, and they will. What a tilt between Kevin McDonald of the Chicago Wolves and Mike Yeo, and everybody standing in the summit for that one.
You know, once in a while you see a guy who's not really a fighter, and he's making all the right faces, and he's yelling all the right things out loud, and he's got that fist flying, and under his breath he's telling the linesman, come on, step in here. Come on, come on. This was not one of those cases. These guys, McDonald and Yeo, they wanted a piece of each other.
Here's how it all started with Chitteroni in front, Russ.
Chitteroni involved there. Got a little stick up there on McDonald. Yeo grabbed McDonald immediately. Secord came in to grab Mike Yeo immediately. Also in there for Chicago was Sean Rivers, and then everybody was in there. Eventually, a couple of guys get sent out. Was it Rivers and Chitteroni who got sent out right away, while Yeo and McDonald did the George Foreman impersonation on the ice, and they will go out certainly for fighting and maybe more.
So Kevin Atchison, our referee, he's got his little black book out. I don't think it's phone numbers of people he's going to meet for tonight. I think he's got some names and penalty assessments coming up here, and it's going to be interesting to see. It could go either way, especially I think on the Secord incident.
Well, I think your use of the word meet is appropriate. He's going to be meeting out penalties here, and you know, as I check the replay up here, I'm not sure you can call Secord the third man in, you know, with Mike Yeo stepping in front of him, grabbing McDonald. So I think you'll probably get the initial penalties of Chitteroni and Rivers, I think, and you get McDonald for sure, and you'll get Yeo. Here we go. Let's find out.
See if we can get the calls here.
Rivers, 2 minutes for roughing.
Tom Franklin, our
Chicago is number 19, Kevin McDonald.
Rivers 2 for roughing.
5 minutes for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct.
McDonald gets 5 for fighting and 10 misconduct.
On the Houston Aeros, number 16.
Chitteroni's got 2 minutes up on the board, so it looks like out of all this, Chicago's going to get a power play. Terry Ruskowski's got that look like, what is going on?
Chitteroni is getting his 2 for roughing, but an initials 2 for slashing. Got that stick up a little bit. So the roughing with Rivers offset, it's the initial slashing call on Chitteroni that's all is going to be up on the board.
How does Secord get nothing?
I don't know.
Well, the Chicago Wolves, one of the more penalized teams in the IHL. They rank 3rd, and they get nearly 30 minutes a game. And top 2 there in Gillingham and Kevin McDonald.
Well, McDonald, number 1 in the league with in major penalty minutes, and has added to it here tonight.
All right, a face-off at center. 7:11 to go here in the first. Aeros 1, Wolves nothing. Second power play of the night for Chicago. Houston will bring out Kevin Dineen and Dave Tippett with Oleg Shargorodsky and Carl Valamont. Brian Pellerin will serve the 2-minute portion of Chitteroni's penalty montage. For Chicago, they'll use a line of Lee Davidson along with Steve Maltais. Todd Harkins. Defensively, they're going to go with Crowley and Gordy Roberts.
Remember, the Aeros best in the league in scoring shorthanded. 10 times they've scored shorthanded goals.
Puck is in Chicago territory, and here's Ted Crowley. Starts the rush up to the right side for Harkins. Weaving through the neutral zone, got by Tippett, got by Denis. Now a pass to the right side, Steve Maltais. At the hash marks, base of the right circle now. Drifting down, lugs a puck over to Lee Davidson, right side. Down low, backed up to Davidson, cuts into the circle, shoots and missed the net to the near side, and now back to the left point, Gordy Roberts. Roberts pass, top of the slot, Crowley tipped it down, Davidson center the shot, score! Nice goal, Todd Harkins, and it's a power play goal. We're tied at 1.
How much you can do when they move the puck around like that. Davidson made a great pass, and it was one timed by Harkins right by Troy Gamble. Todd Harkins scoring and making it 1-1, and for Harkins, that is his 14th goal. He's the leading point man for Chicago with now 34. Great pass. Davidson to Harkins, and that quick shot beats Troy Gamble to the stick side, and we're 1 apiece as Chicago takes advantage of this power play opportunity.
6:35 to go in the first, tied at 1, and now we're back at 5 aside, so a 1-1 hockey game.
Harkins now with 14 points, 6 goals, 8 assists in his last 9 games.
Here's Rob Robinson now back in behind his net. He'll start the rush from right to left for the Houston Aeros. Robinson now just waiting as Chicago sets up in their forecheck scheme as it's now Hackborn. Hit the pass for Kevin Denis. Denis now across the line. Looked it back. Here's a chance for Jakes. He lost the puck, and it's back out to center. Here is Rob Robinson for Houston. Cross-ice pass for Len Hackborn. Weaving through the neutral zone. He gave it away, and Timmy Breslin shoots it into Aero territory. Knocked down by Gamble behind the net, and the Aeros will move it. Robinson pass to the left wing boards for Maurice. Hit it for Kevin Denis. He lost the handle on that puck. Now it's picked up by Chicago's Timmy Breslin and trapped to center. Robinson flipped it back into Chicago territory. Out of the net, Wendell Young, and Jack Duffy now moves in behind his net. He'll move it with 5:45 left in the first. We're tied at 1. Gillingham right side. He loses it, and the Aeros regroup in their own end. Here is Scott Arneal now. Watched along the boards there by Marion Kassir. It comes to center ice, and here is Carl Valamont. Shoots the puck into Chicago territory. Now on the near side, Jack Duffy. He'll hoist it high, and the Aero will bounce at center, and Goslin goes back into his own zone. Steve Goslin now jumps up on the rush. A cross-ice pass for Freer. Across the line, Freer getting set. Line shoots. Stopped by Young, and he'll hold on to the rebound. He caught that puck up. It bounced high, and he had to glove it again as Dave Tippett and Scott Arneal were looming, but the score tied at 1 with 5:14 left in the first.
I can count 3 opportunities, Adam, here in the first period where Young either made a great save or got lucky, or both. Remember the one we talked about earlier that was between his pads, and he's looking behind him because he's not sure he's still got it. Then he's got the one on Deneen that he just happens to have a pad out along the ice when that deflected shot hits the pad, and this one on the Freer shot, he gets a glove on it, loses it up in the air, but then regains it. If that drops in behind him, that's in the net. Good to be good. It's great to be lucky.
Pass goes into Aero territory. Gamble wanted to play it, but he sees Valamont back, and here is Carl Valamont now in behind the net. A pass not out, held in by Roberts. Bumps it back up over the glass and out of play with under 5 minutes to go in the first. We're tied at 1, and we'll have more IHL action from the Summit after this.
With a flavor of Mexico, sizzles.
And he has it to Charles. Look out below. Alley-oop to Rowe. Lou Rowe. Showtime, baby.
HSE is jamming with the excitement of the SWC, Southland, Metro, and Missouri Valley Conference.
Inside Camby with the slam. He got it.
Catch the madness all season on HSE.
We're back. Along with Russ Small, Adam Gordon with you here from the Summit in Houston. 1-1 hockey game, and Chicago just tying it on the power play. Katie Ruskowski barking instructions to his team right now. And that's the nice thing about TV here is it gives both teams a chance to rest because both teams are in their 5th game in 6 nights.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Aeros have lost some of the jump they had in the first 5 or 10 minutes of this period. The couple of short-handed situations has hurt them in terms of maintaining their momentum and that jump. Now it's back even at 1 apiece. Their lead lasted about 10 minutes. Now they got to take a deep breath, regroup, and get their legs under him again and find that jump and put some more pressure on Wendell Young. He's been a little lucky here in the first period. They'll beat him if they keep the pressure on.
Here's a pocket center ice for Mark Freer. He'll shoot it into Chicago territory. Young out of the net. He'll leave it back in behind now. It's rolled along the boards for Marian Kassiri, and he gave it away to Mark Freer. Right in on goal. Shoots, and he just fired it wide, and the Aeros are going to get a power play. Mark Freer made a nice move. I almost thought he had Wendell Young beat on that shot, but the Aeros are going to be on the power play with 4:31 left in the first, tied at 1.
Adam, I really thought I was going to be a prophet there within 10 seconds because they had a great break in, and Freer's a guy who knows how to put the puck in the net. He had that opportunity moments ago that Young, remember, made the glove save. It popped up, and he caught it again. Now the pass intercepted up near the blue line by Freer, makes a good move, splits the defenseman. The angle becomes a tough one, but he comes oh so close to that far post, about 2 inches, and he's going to knock it in off the post. Great opportunity, great steal up near the blue line by Freer. Great move, and he puts a tester by Wendell Young, but by the far post. And the Aeros have a chance to take the lead on the power play.
Face off to the right of Wendell Young as it's Clayton Young out there with Scott Arniel and Kevin Aneen dropping the puck. And the Wolves have got it. It's turned by Gordy Roberts, but not out. Tippett held it in left point, jammed it down along the boards to the hash marks. Clayton Young back Tippett, top of the slot for Shagarodsky, right point now. Looks down, Scott Arniel, right wing boards. Aeros trying to cycle the puck. Here's Young. Oh, he had a pass for Tippett, but the puck was on his edge, and he couldn't get a good pass away, but it's back top of the slot, Shagarodsky. Now down for Scott Arniel, right in front, Shagarodsky turns, shoots, block, rebound, Young shooting, and that, I think, was turned around by Gordy Roberts. Young back to the line, and it's over the stick of Shagarodsky. You know, we had trouble last night on the power play, and he can't hold it in again. That's twice we've seen that here in a couple of nights. And the Chicago Wolves now trying to clear it, cannot. Clayton Young to Tippett, line, shoots. Not bad save by Young. Here is Shagarodsky, worked it down for Scott Arniel. Arniel now, right wing boards, slipped it down for Clayton Young. Aeros look strong on the power play here, moving it around. They need a good scoring chance now as it's sent right in. It might have been Shagarodsky, and it's a power play goal, 2 on Aeros.
I told you, just keep putting the pressure on. He can't get lucky and be in the right place at the right time on every one of them. And I think high in the slot, Oleg Shagarodsky is the guy who deflected it in. There's 2 people in the slot between Tippett and Young. Tippett takes the shot. Oleg is high in the slot, and I think he gets a piece of it. Tippett takes the shot. It definitely moves. Then there's a low slot. That's Clayton Young. Did he touch it?
I think he did.
You think it was Clayton Young and not Oleg Shagarodsky? I don't know. I thought it deflected high in the slot, but there's Clayton Young right on the doorstep. Maybe he got a piece of it. Then again, maybe it was one of the defensemen's stick, and Tippett will get the goal. They'll have to discuss this. We only know it's 2-1.
Power play goal, and the Aeros lead it 2-1. Jake's now right side. Aeros come back. Jake's rink-wide pass for Maurice, trying to move it around Sullivanov. Sullivanov jammed it away and out to center. Here come the Wolves now. Al Secord roaming down the left side. He gives Jakes a bump along the boards, and back into Aero territory goes the puck. Carl Valamont behind the net with 3:04 left in the first. Aeros lead by a score of 2-1. Here's a delayed penalty coming up to the Chicago Wolves. And, you know, this is a team we talked about it a moment ago, Russ. Their lack of discipline has hurt them. It's hurt them with another power play goal for the Aeros, and they're going to be shorthanded again.
And a big chance this is. Now, I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago that I thought it was the shorthanded situations the Aeros had that slowed them down, took them out of their game a little bit. They had the better of the first few minutes. And sure enough, as soon as they get through those penalties and they get a power play, they find their legs again. They get a go-ahead goal. Then they put more pressure on the Wolves. They force them into another penalty. And the Wolf going out right now, would you call it a Wolf going out right now, or would it be a Wolf going out, is Alexander Selivanov. And so it's another power play opportunity for the Aeros here. They finally are announcing who scored that goal for the Aeros. And it's going to be, who is it?
I in Clayton Young. We'll get it squared away, though, for you here.
They're still determining.
Puck is in center ice now for Scott Arneal. Aeros on the third power play of the night. Arneal across the line. That almost looked offsides. Play going on, though. Now base to the left circle. Freer. We're trying to run it down for Arneal. Base of that circle. They continue to jam away on it. Freer fished it through skates. Lee Davidson in there wreaking havoc. Came to the line, not out Tippett. Had it taken away by Davidson. Can't clear. Second effort out to center. Here come the Wolves shorthanded, and that's Maltais that shoots the puck into Aero territory.
Always stick with your first thought. Oleg Shagarodsky from Tippett and Arneal, the go-ahead goal.
Here is Freer now. Cuts, makes a nice move, but he can't get the shot away. Now Townsend getting his stick held. Can't work it away, and now here is Shagarodsky. Left point. Wide. Shoots. Stick save by Young. Now the puck comes to the near side. Picked up by Chicago and shot down the. I'll tell you what, Russ, there's a minute remaining in the power play, but after that goal that the Aeros have scored, they seem to be showing a little more jump right now.
I really thought they showed it before that goal, Adam. That's how they got that goal. I really think they started showing it just before that, and it led to the goal.
Here's Mike Maurice. Now that is going to be offside. They'll bring the face-off to center ice with 1:44 to play. Here in the first period, our score, it's the Aeros 2, Wolves 1, and there's 46 seconds remaining in the minor to Alexander Salavanov.
Yes, we go from one year into the next here on this New Year's Eve. Just remember to tell yourself you're only as young as you feel, and never more so than in the first few minutes of this game when Clayton Young beat Wendell Young to get the Aeros on the board. And then it was Harkins to tie it, and Shagarodsky on the power play at 16:28 from Tippett and Arneal. The fourth of the year for Oleg, and the Aeros back on top 2-1.
Well, remember, only the good die young. Face off center ice as it's controlled now by
good one.
Here by Chicago, up and out of play. 1:38 left in the first. 2-1 Houston. And they'll bring the face-off back into Chicago territory. There's 40 seconds left in Salavanov's minor. And Aeros, what is this, Russ? Some days off without games? Next action won't be till Wednesday.
Not till Wednesday, so they'll get a chance to enjoy the new year. Some of the guys will get a little time to spend with their families and their friends. Got a little cold spell coming into town, but I know Rob Dobson and some of the others will get the sticks out and play a little golf anyway, as long as it's not raining.
I'm supposed to play tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Thanks for inviting me.
You didn't get the invite.
I didn't. You think it's lost in the mail?
Face off center ice. Deneen, Young, and Maurice with Goslin and Ballon. I've seen you golf. You're much better than I am. I need people that are not quite as good.
Every time I try to get into one of Adam's golf games, he says, sorry, we already have a threesome.
Here's Young now. Sends it behind the net. It's jammed along the boards. Ted Crowley trying to bat it out of there. It goes back to the far corner now for Kevin Deneen. Base of the right circle. Deneen pass to the line. Balamont Wine shoots. Stopped by Young. Puck in front, and Harkins is there, and he'll clear it out to center. Secord now. He'll move up the left side and shoot it down the ice.
That's a tough pass Kevin Deneen made from the far corner to the near point, but he made a nice pass, and they got a good shot away.
Here is Goslin for Kevin Deneen. Hits the line. Rolled it over to the right wing boards for the Aeros. I think that's Young. Now back for Goslin. A big drive. That goes wide. Now Valabon left side. Jammed it back. Clayton Young for Mike Maurice. Trying to center it. Here's the chance in front, but it was tipped away, and Tim Breslin's off the center. Teams at 5 aside as the penalty over. 2-1 hockey game. Aeros lead it. Puck in the near corner now. Down to get it. It's Lee Davidson. Jammed it behind the Aeros twine, but Clayton Young worked it away, and Maurice tipped the center ice, and now it's Kevin Deneen. Rambling down the right side. Deneen trying to make the move. He's bumped off the puck. Maurice now cuts into the slot. Wine shoots, bounding puck. Wendell Young made a save. I'll tell you what, he looks about as sharp as the edge of town right now. I don't think he's as strong as everybody might think right now.
He's just not standing on his skates real well. He looks really shaky, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word, shaky.
Here's a giveaway, though. Speaking of shaky, as the Wolves shoot and score. Thank you, Steve Jakes, says Steve Maltais, and it's a 2-2 hockey game, and the defensive mistakes continue.
Well, you know, if Steve had just turned around and shot it by Troy Gamble himself, it would have been all the same. After he gives it away and they go in 2-on-0, there's not much Troy Gamble's going to be able to do. Troy just kind of skating around a little bit. Even Troy Gamble, who will always take the blame on his own shoulders, knows he wasn't to blame on this one. Jakes gives it away. They go in 2-on-1, and a good pass made in front, and it's finished off by Maltais. How do you pronounce that?
Maltais.
Maltais. That's it.
So for Steve Maltais, that that will be his 17th of the year, and the Aeros now have 2 as the buzzer sounds. And, you know, they talk about goals late in the period. They don't come any more degrading than that. Late in the period, on a needless turnover, I think Steve Jakes could have just pushed it along the boards or maybe even fired it over the glass, anything but turn it up the middle like he did.
Final few seconds and that kind of a turnover, so you've worked hard to be leading at the end of one period, but you're not leading. Tough play.
All right, our score after a period of action from the Summit, it's the Aeros 2 and the Wolves 2, and we'll have more from the Summit after this. There you go. Well, it's a 2-2 hockey game. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small here in the first period. And Aeros, quite frankly, should be leading 2-1, but a turnover late. And the Aeros find themselves in a 2-2 deadlock after a period of action. And what a great period it was in that first period. And actually, Barry Warner probably didn't get to see too much of it because he was busy with our special guest after the game. He got a chance to chat with Doug Supernaw.
Sure. Thanks, Adam. We're here with the man of the evening, Doug Supernaw, the Houstonian who brought the crowd to its feet right away. I mean, not that often people get a standing O for a national anthem. How did that feel, Doug?
Well, it was great, especially since I forgot to take my hat off for it. That's embarrassing. But since I got my new hairdo, see, I haven't had my hat on in a while. I just forgot I had it on. So I thought about it to the first line. I said, oh, no. But anyway, you know, I'm human. I make mistakes, whatever.
Doug, this is more than just another gig for you. I mean, you're an old-time Aero fan. You go back to what, the original Aeros when you were a golfer at Aldine in high school, Eisenhower?
You bet. Gordy and Mark and all the Aeros of the Hawthines Pavilion, not the Hawthine, downtown. Coliseum, yeah. They used to all... About half of them were members, and the announcers and everything were members at the country club Inwood Forest where I grew up. And so they used to bring us sticks and pucks, and we used to play hockey in the pro shop out there. And I used to go to games all the time. So
how does a guy go from a member of a golf team that was 3-time state champs to one of the top country western artists in the nation?
It's real similar. It's just competitive, and you get out there and do it to the best you know how. My golf game's suffering because of it, but I don't mind a bit.
Doug, what is it, though, about hockey players and golfers? I've never met a hockey player that was not outstanding on the links.
You know, I think that they're both very, very, I mean, it takes a lot of talent, like we're sitting here, and it takes a lot of talent to get out there and skate. But once you get past the talent, the difference between the people who can skate and the great players is mental. And it's the same way in golf. And I think that they like that because it's a mental challenge. I think if you're a hockey player, you got the physical challenge done with, but golf is more of a mental challenge. You know, they say golf's 90% mental, and I think that's probably true. So I think that's probably why they like it, because they get all their physical activity out there on the ice.
Well, he says it's mental. He also gets plenty of activity, and he's one of the main reasons why Houston turned out tonight to watch a hockey game, and the Houstonian who made so many folks bring their cowboy hats to the Summit. Let's go back upstairs to the voice of the Aeros, Adam Gordon.
Oh, a goal for the Aeros, too. All right.
Right there on all right, thank you, Doug Supernaw. Thank you, Barry Warner. Here in the first intermission, we're tied at 2, and we'll take a look at the highlights next. We'll be back after this. To the Summit, everybody. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small, and a very happy New Year to you all, as the Aeros and the Chicago Wolves in a good one. We are tied at 2, and I'll tell you, it wasn't a bad period for the Aeros, but again, defensive mistakes have hurt them.
Well, the bottom line is we shouldn't be tied at 2. I mean, they got a few seconds to play in the first period. Just clear the zone, regroup, come back, catch your breath between periods, come out for the second period with a 2-1 lead. Instead, Steve Jakes gives it away, and it's a 2-2 game. It shouldn't be that way, and the Aeros jumped out real quickly to take a quick 1-0 lead here tonight.
And we'll take a look at that right now as we take a look at the highlights. And Clayton Young, a big shot here.
Well, it's a terrific opportunity as he breaks in 2-on-1 with Graham Townsend, finds the short side from the circle, beats Wendell Young cleanly, and just a couple and a half minutes into the hockey game, it is 1-0 in favor of the Aeros. Good, quick start for the Aeros on a good break-in and a good shot by Clayton Young.
But then also Wendell Young made some tough saves as well, like here.
Oh, he sure did. He got lucky, too, once in a while. That puck deflected by Kevin Dineen, and it's heading for the far side. He's just kind of laying on the ice, and he makes the stop.
But then the Wolves would get a power play goal. As a nice play here and a good goal by Todd Harkins.
Well, good opportunity there. Davidson centers it, and Harkins with a one-timer past Troy Gamble. Not an awful lot you can do with that, and ties the score at 1 apiece. But the Aeros come right back to get their own power play chance. This is the one that was deflected up high in the slot by Oleg Shargorodsky. Just for good measure, Clayton Young is standing on the doorstep in case it bounces off Wendell Young, and Oleg gets the goal.
That might get changed, I think, to Clayton Young if somebody said anything, but here's the one that should never have happened. Steve Jakes, a nice late Christmas gift.
Well, what do you know, we said it a moment ago. That's it. That's, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. You give it away, and they score with the 11 seconds left in the period, and it's just handing them a 2-on-0 break, and there's nothing Troy Gamble could do with that. And instead of being 2-1, it's 2-2, and that's a big difference here in a game like this, where that team, Chicago, comes in and tries to steal a couple of points on New Year's Eve.
Let's take a look at the Columbia HCA scoring summary, brought to you by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. Aeros got it early, 2:37. Clayton Young is 14th of the year from Steve Jakes and Carl Valamont. But then at 13:25, a power play goal. Todd Harkins, he got his 14th of the year from Davidson and Crowley. We were tied at 1. But then the goal by Oleg Shargorodsky, a power play goal. I still think you'll see Clayton Young getting an assist, or the goal on that rather. Tippett Narneal on the assist. And then Steve Maltais compliments to Steve Jakes. Maltais gets the goal. Courtney gets the only assist. And we find ourselves tied at 2 here in the first period intermission. When we return, some first period statistics after this. Welcome back to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small, first period intermission tied at 2. And Tara Lipinski, 12 years of age. I think she's going to be, what is it, the 98 Olympics. They're hoping she's going to be a superstar and entertaining a big crowd on hand at the Summit tonight. Time for the James Coney Island first period stats, brought to you by James Coney Island Restaurants. Shots on goal, 18-11 in favor of the Chicago Wolves. Saves translate, well, 16 for Troy Gamble, 9 for Wendell Young. Power plays, the Aeros are 1 of 3 on the man advantage, while the Chicago Wolves are 1 of 2. 7 penalties for the Wolves, or 25 minutes, 6 for the Houston Aeros for 23 minutes. A couple of interesting stats I want to pass along to you real quick here. We said we were going to try and track face-offs, and it's an interesting stat. The Aeros winning 13 of 23, so a little over half. That'll be pleasing for Terry Ruskowski. Mark Freer has won 4 of as well as Lenny Hackborn. Clayton Young won 3 face-offs, 1 each for Dave Tippett and Mike Maurice. 5 wins, though, for Todd Harkins, and he's leading the Chicago Wolves. So a good crowd on hand enjoying this one. 2-0, or 2-2, the Aeros and the Wolves, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Summit, everybody. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small. 2-2 hockey game. We're just about ready for the start of the second period. And let's take a look at some new Aero wear post-holiday season. This is Mike Brown of the Houston Aeros. Works for the Aeros Hockey Club, and he is sporting a new Aero wardrobe. It's a great-looking golf shirt available in sizes medium, large, or extra large. And this golf shirt makes a great holiday gift for any Aeros fan. To order, just call 1-800-423-2121. These golf shirts are $29.95 plus $3.95 shipping and handling. 30-day money-back guarantee of satisfaction, so have your credit card ready and call 1-800-423-2121 and ask for Aero Wear. Free souvenir Aeros hockey puck with each order, so please call now. And Russ, where is my golf shirt? Is it with the golf invitation?
Yeah. in the mail.
In the mail. All right. And there's a look at one of the Aero jerseys. Those have really been popular.
Nice face.
Well, the Aeros right now looking to try and maybe save some face after that second period. I mean, they had a 1-0 lead, and then a good power play goal by Todd Harkins. And then they went up 2-1, and then, of course, the giveaway late. So the Aeros look for them to maybe jump back and get back that lead early here in the start of this second period.
Well, I think they played a good first period. The only lull in the period came during a stretch in which they were shorthanded a couple of times and gave up 1 goal. And one bad mistake in the final seconds of the period. There's no other way to say it. You want to play at this level, you can't make a mistake like that at any time in the period, let alone with 20 seconds to play in the period, and give up a goal that comes with just 11 seconds left, and all the hard work you've done to get a 1-goal lead disappears with 1 bad play. That having been said, it's a 40-minute hockey game. We're tied at 2-2. If they play as well as they played in the first period for 2 more periods and cut down on a mistake like that, they'll win. They got to just regroup, put that out of their minds, and go get them.
Puck is at center ice, and here come the Chicago Wolves now. They'll shoot it into Aero territory. We're tied at 2. Robinson now back behind the net, and he'll start it from left to right. The Aeros defend the goal to our left here to start this second period. The Wolves the goal to our right as the puck down in their own end. This will be an icing call on the Aeros and the face-off back in Houston territory. 22 seconds gone in the second, tied at 2.
A lot of action here on New Year's Eve as 1994 turns into 95, and it is Atlanta with a win tonight over Phoenix. Cleveland leads Cincinnati 7-2 in the third. It is Denver over Las Vegas. That is a final score, 5-4. Denver beats the Thunder tonight. Here it is 2-2. We are just underway, 22 seconds into the second period. The Aeros 2 and the Chicago Wolves 2. First meeting of the year between these two teams. Third game in as many nights for the Aeros, and fifth game in 6 nights. There's some tired guys who get a few days off before they're back in action here Wednesday night.
Face off to the left of Troy Gamble. And the Aeros, Clayton Young will shoot it right back down the ice. This will not be icing, so Townsend now off to the races. Wine shoots. Wendell Young a right pad save. He comes out to the base of the circle to cut down the angle. Now at center, Robinson fell, but he got it up to Young, but that's picked away by Rivers. And here is Sean Rivers, shoots it into Aero territory, and that puck up and out of play with, well, not quite 45 seconds gone in the second, tied at 2.
Face-off should come back out at center ice, and that's where they're going to put it, as it was the Rivers shot that ricocheted up and out.
Our next telecast, and in fact Aeros' next action, Wednesday the 4th, as the Denver Grizzlies come to town, and that'll be a 7 o'clock start, 7:08 face-off here from the Summit, right here on HSE and the Aeros Broadcasting Network. And good to see Butch Goring back in town here.
Is that the Elvis Presley night?
No, that's the 12th.
That's the 12th.
Oh wait, no, you're
the 4th.
4th. You're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. The 4th. I should have known that. Here's the puck at center now. Back to action now. Shagarodski, a pass to Dave Tippett, jammed it into Chicago territory. Crowley turns it around, and now at center, it's Davidson. Lee Davidson shoots it into Aero territory, and back is Oleg Shagarodski. He'll take it in behind his net. Oleg. He'll send a pass to the left side. Freer gets it back, and now we're going to get a penalty on the Aeros as we get. Is that Arneal? He was getting into it with Gillingham again, and now Arneal will go to the penalty box, and the Aeros are going to be shorthanded.
Probably an interference. I didn't see how Arneal put Gillingham down, but I do know he wasn't supposed to. Gillingham wasn't the guy with the puck, nor was he the last guy to have the puck, so it could be interference on Scott Arneal, but they are going to rule it an elbow. He interfered with him via the elbow, and bad moment here because the teams are just kind of feeling each other out here early minutes of the second period. We played 1:04 into the second period, and the Aeros are going to give up a power play opportunity here to the Wolves. But I'll remind you, the Aeros have been terrific this year. Penalty killing, #1 in the league in home penalty killing, and #1 in the league in shorthanded goals with 10.
Here is Sean Rivers now. He'll start the power play with a pass to the right side. Davidson centered. Harkins, who has the only power play goal for Chicago. They've got an even strength goal as well. And couldn't get the shot away. It's back at center ice, and now back is Steve Maltais. He'll send a pass ahead, and now Davidson's got it. Here come the Wolves right to left. Davidson barreling into the Aero zone. Cuts to the right side. Davidson centered. Blocked. Robinson. Aeros can't clear. Here's Sean Rivers. Fakes. Gives to Harkins. Harkins now. Back top of the slot. Crowley. Long shot. Blocked. Freer. Can't clear. At a right point now. Here's Ted Crowley. At a right wing board. Crowley drifting down, pinching from the point. It comes behind the net for Steve Maltais. Team captain for Chicago. A bad centering pass, and Freer's got it. Here comes Dave Tippett. Shorthanded for the Aeros, who have 10 of those shorthanded goals on the year. Just dumps it right in. Wendell Young down. He'll make the stick save, and away come the Chicago Wolves from right to left. Here is Lee Davidson at center ice. Hits the line. Chipped the pass to the near side for Harkins. Jammed it down in the corner. Picked away by Jakes. Give it to Chitteroni. He'll bank it out at center. And now it is Maltais. Sized by Clayton Young. Now the Aeros shorthanded still. Shagarodski with 48 on the power play. Shoots it right back into Chicago territory. And out of the net, it's Wendell Young now. With it, Ted Crowley. And we're down to 40 seconds in the Arneal elbowing minor. Cordy Roberts now in his own zone. Picked up for Crowley, tipped it ahead for Alexander Selivanov, runs it by Clayton Young, barreling down the right side, cuts behind the net, give it to Tim Berglund. Berglund trying to move it in front, and it's pushed away by the Aeros and out at center for Oleg Shagarodski. 19 seconds left in the power play. Puck brought in by Shagarodski. Out of the net, it's Wendell Young, and he'll reverse it behind the net. And here is Gord Roberts now for the Wolves. The pass for Selivanov. Trying to jam one ahead for Berglund. Down the left side now, Ed Courtney. Here is Carl Valamont, though, for the Aeros. Can't clear. Power play is over. Teams at 5 aside. Arneal now will hustle back into play. Here's the puck down. Courtney trying to center it, hit the side of the net, and it's lugged away by Lenny Hackborn. Skating down the right side. Hackborn trying to get by Berglund. Lost the puck. Roberts cleared to center. Now it is picked up by Courtney. A pass into Ian Kidd and out to center for Selivanov. Drifting back in his own zone. Locked by Kevin Anine. Arneal bumped him off with a big hit. Nice hit check there. And now the puck out at center. Here is a pass now for Roberts. He'll shoot it into Aero territory with 3.5 gone in the second. 2-2 hockey game, and now it is Rob Robinson behind the net. Worked on by Harkins. Gave it away. Here's Selivanov, base in the left circle. Started the year with Atlanta. Gets it back. Sean Rivers a drive, and that just wide of the net. Now the Aeros have a 2-on-1. Here is Dineen with Hackborn. Dineen in on goal. Hackborn shoots. He missed the net. Oh my, missed a wide open net. And wow. That's like jumping out of an airplane with a parachute and missing the earth. Here come the Chicago Wolves behind the net now. Looking in front. Robinson trying to work it away. They go at it behind the net. In there is Marion Kassier, and now it is Mike Maurice out at center. Hackborn trying to jam it away.
Great opportunity a moment ago. Dineen set up Hackborn. All he has to do is get it on net, and it's 3-2, but he misses.
Now Dineen trying to work away with a puck, and he had his stick held, and then he jammed Kassier to the ice, and it's blasted right back down. This will be icing, and back to get it. It's Duffy, and that will be icing, and we'll take time out. 2-2 our score here. We'll be back after this.
When you're active,
Your body heat increases.
15 or 20 times.
You become dehydrated.
As soon as 30 minutes.
You lose fluids.
Up to 2 quarts of sweat per hour.
but more than anything else, you get
Thirsty. Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
Drink it.
no other beverage enters the bloodstream faster and rehydrates you better.
Chug it.
Nothing quenches a deep down body thirst better.
Scientifically tested, athletically proven.
Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
It's gotta be Gatorade.
There's nothing quite like the great outdoors, and HSE brings the best of the outside world inside. Whether you're into catching a prize-winning bass,
Look at the size of that bad boy.
or enjoy the thrill of the hunt.
Got him! Yeah!
A sportsman's home is out among nature. Beautiful scenery, wide open spaces, and just good old camaraderie. There's no place like the outdoors. Saturdays on HSE, beginning January 7th. Thursday's Best Team Outdoors moves to Saturday mornings at 6 on HSE.
2-2 the score here in the second period. I'll tell you what, Russ, the opportunities don't come much, but Lenny Hackborn, I think, wants this one back.
Well, Dineen sets him up just perfectly with a little flip in front. He's only about 8 feet in front of Wendell Young. If he puts it on goal, Young was so far out of that play, cheating over to the Dineen side. It's 3-2. Hackborn has just 1 goal for the Aeros. He should have had number 2.
I'll tell you what, I will say this. I'm not going to defend Hackborn, and I'm not going to make an excuse, but one thing in all fairness to him, he's a left-handed shot on the right wing, so an off-wing shot, it is hard to get that as wide as he was on that. But still, you're right. Had an open net, should have put it in there. Here's the puck near side. Tippett trying to clear. Takes a whack from Roberts, and now Shagarodski. He'll start the rush. 3-on-3 across the line. Oleg trying to move around Crowley. Pulls up at the hash mark. Shagarodski cycled it behind the net. Hit the side of the net, as a matter of fact. And now the Wolves have got it. Can they clear it? Yes, they will. It'll go back in Aero territory. Jakes has to hustle. He's outworked by Maltais, but able to pop it away. Good hook by Maltais to get him off the puck. Now in Aero territory. Arneal over skates. Here is Oleg Shagarodski, and it's turned by Freer, and the Aeros come away with another 3-on-3 rush. Freer across the line with Tippett and Arneal. Dropped it back. Arneal now cutting in. Here's Scott Arneal. High backhander dropped by Wendell Young. Puck loose in front, but the Wolves have got it, and they'll move it out to center ice. Steve Maltais dropped the pass to the near side for Tim Berglund. Got through Goslin. Goslin hooked him down. No penalty. Play goes on. Puck in the near corner. Tippett wraps up his man. Ed Courtney locked up by Goslin. Now it is Robinson for the Aeros. Jams the puck ahead for Tippett. We're going to get another penalty on the Wolves, but the Aeros have a 3-on-2 break. Here is Tippett across the line. Tippett trying to center it. That's jammed away, and the Wolves have got it, and play is whistled down. 6 minutes gone in the second. 2-2 our score, and the Aeros will go on the power play.
Good opportunity here to grab a lead. one of the things we have to understand here, too, Adam, as we look at the situation out there, and especially the more power plays Chicago gets, the Aeros only have 5 defensemen dressed. And as this game goes on, and it's the 3rd game in 3 nights and the 5th game in 6 nights, these defensemen are going to pull a lot of duty out here tonight. And they're going to get tired towards the end of a period, and especially in the 3rd period. I think they have to be very careful and very disciplined to not, on top of that, create power play situations for Chicago. Fortunately, right now, it's a power play situation for the Aeros. The last time the Wolves had a power play a few minutes ago in this period, they did not get a single shot on goal. I hope that doesn't happen to the Aeros. Let's see if they can put some testers on Wendell Young.
On the power play now, here is Maurice. Slammed it down for Clayton Young. Back to Maurice, right wing boards. He'll set it up now. Down low, Clayton Young, base of the right circle. Back to the line. Ooh, tipped away, but held in by Goslin. Here's Maurice now. Worked it down. Clayton Young can't get the shot away now. Maurice, he will. Blocked by Wendell Young. It's loose, and back to the line. Now held in by Goslin. Maurice now working hard along the boards. Ted Crowley jammed it away, but Clayton Young's got it. Still on the power play. A minute and a half remaining. Cross-ice pass. Shargarodsky rolled it down for Kevin Aneen. Back Shargarodsky. It's Maurice, Young, and Kevin Aneen with Shargarodsky and Goslin. Aeros recycle the puck. Down low. Here's the chance. Centered, and it skipped over the stick of Maurice. Beautiful play, but it just went over the stick of Maurice. Base of the right circle. Maurice now getting set. Back to the line. Goslin gave it away as he couldn't hold it in. I don't know how many times in the last couple of games we've seen that. And Goslin now has to turn it around for Maurice. Nice pass. Headman. Clayton Young barreling in. And that's jammed away and out to center.
What happened to Goslin a moment ago? He got a little too anxious. They had passed the puck. He wanted to get a good shot or set somebody up. He looked up just for a second. When he looked down, the puck had come out across the line.
Here is Freer now as he hits the line with Deneen. Barreling in. Freer back. Arneal shoots. Oh, man, did that go off the poster? Did Young get a piece of that? It was so quick from Arneal. Regardless, it didn't go in. Here's Freer with a one-timer, and he fired that wide. Couple of great scoring chances for the Aeros. Still couldn't put it in there now. Arneal back to the line. Goslin wide shoots. Right pad save made by Wendell Young. Goslin another shot upstairs, and Young gets a shoulder on that. Here is Freer with 19 on the power play. Aeros looking outstanding here. Just can't get it in the net. Back to the line. Shargarodsky looks for the shot. Jammed it down for Kevin Aneen. Deneen to Shargarodsky. One-time shot. Heads up a 9-iron all the way into the ninth fairway, and play halted with 9 seconds left in the Aero power play. 2-2 our score.
A lot of good opportunities. That last one just got up on edge and went out flying, but a couple of good chances from Goslin at the point. He put the first one low. The first one was low, and Young makes the good save, kicking that left leg out. The second time Goslin gets it, just a moment later, he tries with a wrist shot going upstairs, thinking maybe Young figures he's going to try to go low again. So a couple of good chances and some pretty good thinking by Goslin. Give him one low, give him one high, make him think a little bit. The Aeros out shooting the Chicago Wolves 6-0 here in the second period. Many of them on this power play, very effective power play, but they haven't put the puck in the twine.
You brought up a point earlier in the first period, Russ, about how the Aeros had gotten all over Wendell Young in the first and how they shouldn't let up and keep peppering him. How about those shots on goal? 6-0.
Well, I mean, that's exactly right. Plus some opportunities here in this power play that weren't shots, but great opportunities. Not to mention, a Hackborn one earlier does not go as a shot on goal, but they had the goaltender dead to right. So they have put pressure on Wendell Young. The power play is over.
Teams at 5 aside. Carl Valamon now. Right wing boards blasted into Chicago territory. First one there is Mario Chitteroni. Had the only goal last night against Kansas City. Puck sliced up out of play with 12 minutes to go here in the second. We'll take time out. We're tied at 2, and we'll be back after this.
At Southwest Airlines, some of our most important projects never get off the ground. Like our South Mountain Park project in Phoenix, where we spent a day replanting trees and shrubs destroyed by summer brush fires. Or our Midwest Flood Relief Project, where we gathered tons of food and supplies to aid thousands of people whose homes were ravaged by floods. Why are some of our most rewarding projects so down to earth? Because we're not a company of planes, we're a company of people.
To Charles, look out below. Alley-oop to Rowe. Lou Rowe. Showtime, baby.
HSE is jamming with the excitement of the SWC, Southland, Metro, and Missouri Valley Conference.
Inside Camby with the slam. He got it.
Watch the madness all season on HSE.
Along with Russ Small, Adam Gordon with you in a 2-2 hockey game. And there's the birthday boy, Terry Ruskowski.
Yeah, everybody in here has these New Year's kazoos and New Year party hats. I felt bad for Terry because he thought they were all dressed up in party hats for his birthday. I had to tell him it was New Year's Eve. And look, Gino Briacco standing behind the Chicago bench. He's directing the chorus.
Can we get a shot of that?
Stars and Stripes.
Look at that.
Directing Stars and Stripes by the world's biggest kazoo band. 15,000 at the summit here. 2-2, the Aeros and the Wolves.
Here's the puck now, back behind the net. Gotta love Briacco. Coached the Pittsburgh Penguins in the NHL.
Coaching in one level or another for a long time. He loves his game, just loves being behind the bench.
Here's the puck now. Mario Chitteroni trying to clear. Cannot. Back to the line. Here's a puck jammed down in the corner. It's along the boards as the Wolves trying to move it along. It's Maltais down for Ed Courtney. Takes a bump. Tim Berglund in there. He's locked up by Valamont. Tell you what, Charles Valamont looks much better tonight than he did last night. Looks like the knee's not as bad. It might be sore, but he's sure showing a good way to hide it tonight. Now Valamont fighting for that loose puck. He's got it. Can he get it out of there? No, he's tackled along the boards by Berglund. Play going on and Valamont falling on it. And play halted with 11 minutes to go in the second, tied at 2.
Aeros have outshot the Wolves better than 2-1. And really, that should be the score of the game, 2-1. But for a giveaway late in the first period, some good opportunities here in the second period as well for the Aeros. They got to get it past Wendell Young, a guy who has been around for a while. We're talking about the coach a moment ago. Wendell Young's been around a while in the NHL, another level. He has a couple of Stanley Cups with his name on it.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble, Clayton Young, Brian Pellerin, and Mike Yeo, who's back after his little bout. And defensively, Jakes and Shagarovsky. Lee Davidson trying to win the draw, but it's won by the Aeros, and Jakes now meanders in behind the net. He'll wait behind there and start the rush from left to right now as the Aeros work the breakout. Here is Oleg Shagarovsky. They'll jam one out to center for Yeo. Crowley bats it away, and now the Wolves trying to advance it. It's dumped into Aero territory. Does Gamble want to play it? He will. He'll come out of the net and send it along for the near side. Jakes spins one up to center for Pellerin. He cleared it out there, but now the Wolves turn it around. We're going to get another penalty as we've got Pellerin going at it with Gillingham. And I think there's going to be an extra minor somewhere. Gillingham came back. Pellerin firing back with a couple of left hands, and he continues to pepper away on Gillingham, who, well,
Gillingham's been mad at him since he went down in the first period, got cut, and nobody saw it, nobody called it. He's been mad. He remember with Mike Maurice, he started to go at one point. As soon as the play had been whistled dead, he turned right away and went after Mike Maurice. This time he does it again. Gillingham has been quite upset most of the night since that incident in the first period where he got cut. Nobody saw it. Nothing was called.
I think here's
along the board. Yeah, he goes charging into Pellerin, and maybe Gillingham's going to get an extra 2.
I think that's because I saw Kevin Atchison, the referee, with his hand up before the fight started, and I think that's going to be what it is. Tell you what, the Aeros would love to see it be an instigating minor, but I don't think it would be. If it were an instigating minor, he'd be kicked out of the game, but it won't be that. But what about the crowd watching it on the replay up here in the summit, and they're loving it.
Well, Gillingham, big kid, 6'2", 202, and handles himself pretty well. And the initial penalty is going to be elbowing on Gillingham. And then fighting penalties to both he and Brian Pellerin. So a pretty good bout right there between those two guys. They'll each get 5 minutes to cool it. Pellerin not nearly as big as Gillingham. He's 5'10", 185 to the 6'2", 202, but stood there toe-to-toe, got some good shots in there, and we're going to play 5-on-4. Big power play chance here.
Pucks at center. And the Wolves shoot it in. Gamble now will slow behind the net.
I'm going to tell you right now, if they play this power play as they did the last one, they will score and take a 3-2 lead.
Here is Oleg Shagarovsky, in the words of our prophet tonight, Russ Small. Here's a backhand by Deneen, and he almost made your dream come true there. Wow. The Aeros now in the corner. Freer works it back. Arneal. Right wing boards. Top of the slot. Shagarovsky right back for Arneal. Good quick puck movement. Crisp passing. Arneal down for Freer. Centered the shot. Oh, what a stop by Wendell Young. Or did he miss the net? Tippett had a chance. Regardless, another chance. Now Tippett back to the line. Shagarovsky back for Arneal. Right wing boards. Arneal now. Lobbed it back to the line. Shagarovsky for Arneal. Has the chance. Back to Tippett. Cross-ice pass. Shot. Blocked by Wendell Young. Unbelievable. Now we're going to get a penalty, I think, on Kevin Deneen, as he was interfering with one of the Wolves, and it's going to be a roughing minor to Kevin Deneen, and that'll do it for the Aero power play.
Well, he got a little piece of Kevin McDonald. And that is going to do it for the power play, but they almost did score even in those few seconds they had. Dave Tippett with a good opportunity, and I'm not sure if Wendell Young made the save or maybe tipped it by the net. But it's a roughing penalty coming on Kevin Deneen. Good opportunity there early. Tippett comes in from the far side again, a wide open net, and I think he just misses the net. Tippett comes in with a wide open side of the net. Tippett gets another good opportunity where Shagarovsky picks up a rebound and tries to blast it by Wendell Young, and Young gets a piece of that one. So a couple of good chances early in that power play, and I'm off the hook here because I think if it had gone on for the next minute and 5, they would have scored. But with Deneen going out, all bets are off.
Here is Steve Goslin now as we go 4-on-4 for a minute, and then the Wolves will get a power play for about 50 seconds. Puck in behind the Chicago net. Ted Crowley now. He'll start the rush from right to left. Pass to the near side. Picked up by Gord Roberts. Skated down the left side center ice and into Aero territory. Speared away by Gamble. He'll flip it behind the net for Steve Goslin. Here comes Goslin. Right wing boards. Backhands one to center off the stick of Clayton Young. And the Wolves trying to turn it around. Robinson hooks a pass to Young. Worked it back for Goslin. And the Aeros have got it now. Goslin weaving through traffic at center. Hooked by Secord. Get it over to Clayton Young. And a weak backhanding centering pass comes right back at center. Now Goslin right side trying to skate through the check of Gordy Roberts. Here is a puck run by Hawkins. It'll go to the far side. Robinson pinching. Secord checks him, and here come the Chicago Wolves 3-on-2. Here is a pass. Crowley to Harkins. Skated right by Goslin. He went in, but a great defensive play by Clayton Young to poke that away. Now it is Young. Turns it around. Young through center ice. Clayton Young galloping in the neutral zone. Backhands one on to Wendell Young, and now it is played by the Chicago Wolves, and we're going to get a whistle here, and I don't know why, but I think maybe were the Aeros offside. I don't know, but there's 49 seconds left in the Deneen minor as Chicago on the power play. 8:24 left in the second, tied at 2.
I'm not sure what they're calling. Young played it, right?
Maybe too many men on the ice?
There's got to be some call coming. It can't be an offside. Young played that puck. The officials are making a call. Maybe it is too many men on the ice.
Gene Ubriaco is just livid. And so the Aeros now are going to get a power play, but first we'll go 4-on-4 as Clayton Young makes a great play here.
But we talked earlier, Adam, team defense was one of our game plan notes. And team defense means that the forwards sometimes have to come back and help out the defensemen. And with Clayton Young making a sliding block out in front of Troy Gamble, that's team defense. The Chicago Wolves, folks, in 11 minutes and 36 seconds of this period, do not have a shot on goal. The Aeros, conversely, have played very well in the forward zone and have had good chances on goal and chances that don't register as shots on goal, but they haven't been able to get one by Wendell Young.
We were looking at Gene Ubriaco there, who was very animated with his hand. I don't think he was conducting the kazoo orchestra there.
Not that time. Not that time. The penalty goes up on the board against the Chicago Wolves.
So in 45 seconds, the Aeros will get another power play. Len Hackborn, Shagarovsky, long shot, blocker save made by Young, and bobbles it for a moment, but he will hold on with 8:15 left in the second, tied at 2.
You know, Wendell Young has looked alternately sharp and shaky tonight.
All right, let's take time out. 2-2 our score. We'll have more from the Summit after this.
When the Post asked what you want in a Sunday paper, you said, give us the news that affects our lives. Give us great writers. Show us exciting things to do. And we did. Then you asked for just one more thing. A little dirt.
Introducing Cover Story Entertainment Magazine, delivering the hottest scoop on your favorite celebrities from the world of music, sports, and Hollywood. Free on Sunday, only in the Sunday Houston Post.
Some players set records. Others will break them. Doubles and triples, down the line, or into the stands. The hits just keep on coming. Jeff Bagwell, this is Star Power.
Astros baseball, Star Power.
The Astros salute first baseman Jeff Bagwell, the 1994 National League Most Valuable Player.
Face-off is in the circle to the right side of Wendell Young. I'm Adam Gordon with a Russ Small. 8:50 left in the second, tied at 2, and the Aeros in 40 seconds are going to get a power play for a minute and 11.
Shots on goal in this period, 9-0 in favor of the Aeros. And they've had, as I mentioned, some other good shots as well. The Aeros here in 2 periods, Adam, have 27 shots on goal, and we've got 8:15 to play in this period. You'd think they'd have more than 2 goals up there, but we're still 2-2, 8:15 to play in the second.
Face off to the right of Wendell Young. Drop of the puck. We're 4-on-4 again for 40 seconds. Here's the puck in behind the net. Ted Crowley for Chicago now. And he'll patiently wait, send it out to the right side as the Wolves now busted out. Steve Maltais through the neutral zone. Brings it in. Got by Goslin. Waits, shoots, scores! And Steve Goslin continues to have problems stopping the man as Maltais went right through him. And it's a 3-2 hockey game. Chicago leads it.
I guess you got to give Maltais some credit. I mean, he just stood up, powered his way in, and got a shot on goal. And get it. That's their first shot on goal in this period. And how many good scoring chances have the Aeros had in this period where if they only put the shot on goal, they score? He makes a good little move at the blue line to get an angle on Goslin. Goslin goes down, and Maltais puts it, I think, right between the legs, right between the pads of Troy Gamble. Maltais just gets in and goes right between the pads as Gamble goes down, those knees open a little bit, and it is 3-2. The Wolves with their only shot on goal in the second period. Their last 2 shots on goal, they have scored. The one with the 11 seconds to play in the first period, and this one here about 12 minutes into the second.
Here is Freer now with a nice pass for Arneal. Quick shot and a stop made by Wendell Young. Right now, Beatles wrote a song called Help, and that's ringing through the ears of Troy Gamble right now.
Power play now, though, for the Aeros. Maybe they can get back even in this one.
Valamont trying to get it out at center. Maltais knocked it back into Aero territory, and Gamble out of the net. The last 2 shots that have been goals have been ones that you can't fault Gamble at all, have been clearly defensive mistakes. Here come the Aeros on the power play. Freer makes the move, but he went without the puck. Wolves trying to clear Connaught. Second effort, they will. Right back down the ice it goes with 7 minutes to go in the second. 3-2 Chicago. Here is Oleg Zhargorodski now. He'll carry the puck up the left side. Now to Dave Tippett. Through the neutral zone, he'll come. Banks one in there. It'll go into the corner. Kevin Dineen, first one there. Base of the right circle. Dineen centered it, but it comes to Tippett. Left point. Wine shoots high and blocked by Wendell Young, and he'll hold on with 6:45 left in the second. Chicago leading 3-2 with 22 seconds remaining in the minor to the Chicago Wolves. Too many men on the ice.
Wendell Young saw that shot by Dave Tippett all the way. Saw what he was going to do, saw where he was going to do it from. Skated right straight out at him, took away all the angle. Shot went high. He grabbed a piece of it, didn't let go. 3-2. The Wolves have their first lead of the night. 6:45 to play here in the second period. Still 22 seconds left in the Aeros power play. So if they can win this face-off, they get a good chance here in the forward zone.
Top of the puck, and it's won by the Aeros. Back to the line. Tippett jammed it back to Zhargorodski. Just barely held it in. Mike Maurice now at the hash marks right side. Maurice top of the slot. Zhargorodski barely held it in with a shot. Wendell Young the save. Big rebound, but nobody in front to jump on it, and it's right back down the ice.
They were in front, but the Wolves defensemen were doing a good job and keeping everybody occupied so nobody could get a piece of that puck and direct it home.
Now here is Mike Maurice. He'll bang one into Chicago territory. Young out of the net. Bobbled it. Here's the chance, but the Aeros couldn't jump on the loose puck. Now Now Robinson, a booming drive, right on the save. The rebound goes just wide. What else can go wrong for the Aeros? Now the puck picked up by Secord, hit with a high stick. The Aeros have thrown everything at Wendell Young, and he stopped it.
They just got to stay within themselves, Adam. They have thrown everything at him. He has stopped them, or they have let him off the hook a couple of times. There's a long way to go in this game. Don't get frustrated. Certainly don't get so frustrated that you take yourself out of position and allow the Wolves to break the other way and add to their one-goal lead. Young makes the decision, takes the gamble to come out of the net, into the corner, and then loses the puck. Townsend gets a piece of him. The Aeros finally get the puck out in front. Young has made his way back into the goal, but he's not completely set. They get a little scrum in front. Townsend again in front, but that puck just trickles wide, and nobody can bang it on home. And you see that as Townsend is setting up in front, the Wolves do occupy him, so he can't just find the puck and knock it home, and it remains 3-2.
We're at 5-on-5 hockey. Young, Maurice, Townsend with Jakes and Robinson. Mike Maurice now to take the draw. Drop of the puck, and the Wolves have got it. Ian Kidd rolls the puck ahead, and now it is Alexander Selivanov. Skates to center ice, trying to dump it in around Robinson. It'll bounce down to Gamble, who was able to corral it and slow it for Steve Jakes. Jakes quickly turns it to the right side for Maurice. His pass came to center, but Ted Crowley there to turn it around. Crowley dumped it in. It's a delayed offsides as Harkins had to come away with it. Now we've got Crowley down, and again from behind the play. I didn't see this. I was watching the puck, and Crowley is down.
Well, again, neither do the officials. They're talking to each other, and none of them are saying we got something to call on somebody. This is the second time one of the Wolves has gone down well away from the play, and nobody knows why he's down, what happened. There's no call being made. Gino Briaco is looking at the officials again off the Chicago bench. He's giving them the little hear no evil, see no evil. What else is left? Speak no evil. He's got his hands over his eyes as he mocks the officials that they're not exactly keeping their eyes open or on the play, or just not looking at what's going on. He's been all over him here for the last several seconds, putting his hands in front of his eyes and mocking that they can't see anything out there. But I wonder if he saw it, because I don't think anybody saw it.
Been very animated in this period, Gino Briaco has, and he is talking with Kevin Atchison, pleading his case. Face off center ice, Young, Townsend, Maurice with Robinson and Jakes. How frustrating is it, Russ, right now, as well as the Aeros are playing, when your defense isn't getting it done, making mistakes to result in goals?
Well, you can't get so frustrated that you start blaming each other. I mean, the forwards, the goaltender, they can't point fingers at the defenseman and saying, you know, hey, we'd be winning if it wasn't for you. You can't do that. You just got to work a little harder. You got to give them a little encouragement. You got to score down the other end. If the Aeros had scored 3-4 more times, those mistakes wouldn't show up as big.
Here's Clayton Young, a pass intercepted by the Wolves, and here's a chance. Harkins right in on goal, and a good defensive play by Robinson.
Going to get called.
He's going to get nailed with a penalty with 5:17 left in the second, tripping the call. Robinson saying that, hey, I played the puck first, but Kevin Atchison says no, and that'll be a penalty to Rob Robinson.
I thought he was going to get away with this one. I didn't think this one was going to go as a tripping call.
Well, now Townsend's being moved off.
Townsend's being thrown out of the game. He's being given a misconduct. See, I don't think that's a tripping call on Robinson. I don't think that's tripping. He played the puck. He was beaten, but he dives forward, and look, he gets the stick, sweeps it through the puck twice. He's got the right to some of that ice. He doesn't like the call. The Aeros don't like the call. Graham Townsend especially didn't like the call. And Graham did something or said something that's going to get him much of the rest of the night off.
Yeah, 10-minute misconduct to Graham Townsend. So 5:17 left here in the second. 3-2 Wolves and a chance to build on it.
Of course, it could have been a wee bit of a makeup call for having had two of the Wolves go down and stay down tonight and have no call made, like this one a moment ago when Crowley was down and the Wolves are all over the officials. You got to see something sometime, and seconds later that call.
Off the face-off now, Wolves have got it. Here is Gordy Roberts. Top of the slot now for Sean Rivers. Jammed it back down along the boards for Lee Davidson. Davidson with a puck sets up at the hash marks. Right wing board. Top of the slot for Sean Rivers. Wide. Shoots. Deflected and pinballed into Valamont. Trying to tie a Maltais. Puck in front, and Gamble not taking any chances. Had to quickly go down and cover up with 4:58 left in the second. 3-2 Chicago. Minute 41 left on the power play.
Maltais has really been a thorn in the Aeros side tonight. Every place there's been trouble, he seems to be right around there. And he was right around there, and there was right in front of Troy Gamble. Maltais let alone in front to roam around trying to find that puck. Finally, he is knocked on his can on the ice. And that's where I'd like to see him spend a lot of time. Still a power play for Chicago for a minute and 40.
Puck in narrow territory. Gordie Roberts, left wing boards. Down low for Harkins. Back to Roberts at the point. Now Harkins sends it back along for Maltais. Jammed it over for Davidson and back to the line for Sean Rivers. Quick puck movement by the Wolves. Here is a puck. Davidson, top of the slot. Sean Rivers is shot right on. Gamble save. Puck in traffic. Fish down. Here's the shot, and Gamble, an outstanding save through a forest of players as Todd Harkins tried to give the Wolves a 4-2 lead, but he was denied by Troy Gamble.
Harkins, another guy who's playing very well for the Wolves tonight and has been around the trouble spots throughout the night. And again, he gets dumped by Carl Valamont near the end of this play. Valamont doesn't know where the puck is, but he hasn't got time there to start looking for it. He just has to make sure he takes his man out of the play, and that's what he does. He gets a good, strong foothold on the ice, and he knocks Harkins down and ends the play. Good play by Valamont.
Face off to the left of Gamble. Tippett wins the draw, and it's picked up by Valamont now. Valamont will just turn and hoist that all the way down the ice with a minute 11 remaining in the penalty to Rob Robinson.
And the final minute of this penalty in the final 4+ minutes of this period, oh so important. I do not want to see the Aeros fall behind by 2 goals here to the Wolves.
Here is Todd Harkins now, left side, jammed it back, but Kevin Dineen was there to spank it all the way down the ice, and the Wolves have to go back with under a minute remaining on their power play. 4:07 to go in the second. 3-2 hockey game. The Wolves lead it. Here is Gordie Roberts, turn the puck over to Dineen. Dineen short-handed, trying to find a looming Dave Tippett, couldn't quite do it. Now Harkins, right side, snapped one into Aero territory. Gamble takes a chance to come out. He'll flip it away, and ooh, Jake's got clipped with a high stick, no call, and play going on. And I don't know if it was much Ed Courtney's, maybe the help of one of the Aero teammates there, but Jakes will shake it off, and play will be whistled down with 3:48 left in the second. Wolves lead it by a score of 3-2, half a minute remaining in Robinson's minor.
Well, Courtney definitely got him up high, and no call made. Courtney comes in, and they catch Jakes. There was a little help there by Dineen, but it was Courtney's stick that catches Jakes up high. Chicago in this period with 5 shots on goal. 3 of them have come during this power play. But Troy Gamble has stopped them all. Chicago does lead here, 3-2. They scored late in the first period. They scored in this second period, their first shot on goal in this second period, and they lead 3-2.
Tippett wins the draw, and he was able on that draw to shoot it down the ice. 3:43 left, and the Wolves are back. 3-2 hockey game here in the second period. Here comes Chicago now. Pass to the near side for Berglund. It's batted away by Dineen, and now Tippett couldn't pick up the loose puck. Now we're going to say it was hit with a high stick, and now we'll blow play dead with 3.5 to go here in the second. And the Aeros trailing 3-2, and they will say that it was a Wolf. Well, Wolf, whatever, that hit it with a high, easy for me to say. Hits it with a high stick, and that means the face-off back in their own zone.
What's really tough with the way action has gone here the last few nights, the crowds here at the Summit have been tremendous all season. The last few nights, 12, 13, we haven't had an official attendance figure tonight, but it's 14 plus. And unfortunately, they've seen them lose 2 in a row coming into this game, and the 2 in a row at home snapped a terrific 4-game winning streak. So they've lost 2 in a row coming into this game, and now they are trailing 3-2 with 3:30 to play in the second period. So the crowds have been terrifically behind the team. They've been coming out in force, enjoying Aeros hockey, and now the guys down here on the skates have to reward them with a win.
Puck is in Chicago territory. 10 seconds left in Robinson's minor. And here is Ted Crowley. Pass to the right side. Steve Maltais trying to cut through Tippett. It was jammed away by Shargorodsky. Kevin Dineen couldn't clear it. Now Crowley, left point. Worked it back into the slot. Here's a backhander. Swept in. Gamble save. Puck loose in the slot. And now Robinson, who's back out on the ice, plays it away. He'll jam it down the ice. It will not be icing, though, as Crowley goes back for it. Crowley for Chicago now. Forecheck by Kevin. The cage, and he'll move it with 3 minutes to go here in the second. Aeros trail by a score of 3-2. Maltais right side. Pass for Courtney. Brought it back. Maltais walked around Deneen. Now center to pass. Loose in the slot. Here's the shot. And it was just hit wide. Here's the puck back at a left point. Rivers jammed it behind the Aero net. Ruskowski trying to clear it. He's muscled out of there by Courtney. Now Deneen throws his body in there. And he'll play it ahead. Here comes Mario Chitteroni now. Chitteroni. Cross ice pass for Hackborn. Can't move it through Jack Duffy. And here is Courtney now. Dumped it into Aero territory. 2:23 left in the second. Here is Ruskowski now. Oleg. Pass up the left side for Hackborn. He'll gently feather it into Chicago territory. Pellerin in after it. Him and Gillingham lock up a bit as they fought earlier in this period. Now back at center. The Aeros have got it. Chitteroni waits and shoots it in. Jack Duffy, defenseman for the Wolves, will drift back in behind the cage and away he'll come. Duffy pass out to the right side for Gillingham. Jams one ahead. That's worked away by Robinson. Loose at center. Clayton Young trying to jump on the loose puck. He'll hit the line with Yo and Pellerin. Yo left side trying to move around Duffy. Cannot do it. They lock up on the inboards. Here is Pellerin now working hard through the checking of Sean Rivers. Pellerin still the puck in the corner. He tied up along the boards by Duffy, and finally play whistle down. We'll take time out. 1:40 to go in the second. 3-2 Wolves back after this.
What if they let me play? I could show them a thing or two. I'd dribble left, right, eye that seam, take it up in their faces, show them the ball, then cross over, drive the lane, calmly display my 360 reverse windmill jam.
Elijah Watt in Meshburn. You gotta let these big boys play.
Yeah, if they let me play, I'd paint a white stripe down their backsides and I'd skunk them. 11 zip, fellas. Who's got next?
Mavs, Rockets, Thursday night at 7:30, live on HSE.
There's nothing quite like the great outdoors, and HSE brings the best of the outside world inside. Whether you're into catching a prize-winning bass,
Look at the size of that bad boy.
or enjoy the thrill of the hunt.
Got it! Yeah!
A sportsman's home is out among nature. Beautiful scenery, wide open spaces, and just good old camaraderie. There's no place like the outdoors. Sundays on HSE. Spend your Sunday mornings with the best team outdoors, beginning January 1st at 9:30 on HSE.
Puck is in Aero or Chicago territory. Here's Mike Yo, top of the slot. He had it bumped away by Berglund. Now Robinson at center. And he'll shoot it in. 1:24 left in the second. 3-2 hockey game. And the Aeros trailing. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small. Puck in Wolf territory. Here is Todd Harkin. Right side. Can't clear it. Knocked away by Robinson. They tie up along the boards. And whistle stops play. Now we've got Clayton Young pushing and shoving a little bit. As I think Kevin McDonald in there, I think, introducing himself to Clayton Young, and a little gathering there after the whistle. But what a difference a period makes when the Aeros come out, Russ, in the first half of this period and just pepper Wendell Young, get nothing. And now all of a sudden, it's Chicago that gets the go-ahead goal, and it's been all Chicago for the latter half of this period.
Well, the psyche really changes. I mean, they know that they did enough in the first 10 or 12 minutes here to have a lead of a couple of goals. Not just one goal, but a couple. Heck, the first 12 minutes, Chicago didn't have a shot on goal in this period, and the Aeros had several good shots on goal and several good shots that did not register as shots on goal, and they could not score. And now they look up on the board, they see a minute and 12 to play in the period, and they trail by the score of 3-2. So the psyche is certainly taking a beating at this moment. They have the advantage in shots on goal, 31-20, but they trail 3-2. Just need the next goal. You get the next goal, you get back even. That cures a lot of the psychological woes that they are going through right now. But that next goal is going to be so important.
Especially if they can get it late in this period.
Yeah.
Puck to the round of Wendell Young, and it's picked up by Chicago, and it's cleared to center. You know, the difference here in the psyche, it seems like, Russ, is that it looks like it'll be an icing call on Chicago. No, they're going to wave it off. But the difference is it seems like every loose puck now, the Wolves have jumped on it as opposed to the Aeros that jumped all over Chicago.
Well, what happens way up top between the ears and the psyche affects what happens way down low where the skates blade against the ice. If you're not feeling it upstairs, the legs aren't quite as quick downstairs.
Here's a great play to Freer, who shoots, and Wendell Young the save.
Freer didn't get all of it, but he got it on goal, and Young just held his spot.
Now back in Chicago territory. McDonald right side. He will just chip it out at center. Knocked down by Kevin Deneen. Here is Scott Arneal now at center. Arneal for the Houston Aeros. Gently rolled it in, and that's blocked by Timmy Breslin, and then he was hit by Oleg Shargorodsky, but here's Valamon at center. Turn it over to Kevin Deneen. Pass for Scott Arneal, and now a pass for Hackborn. Hits the line. Hackborn, nice move. In on goal, centered for Valamon, just too far. Now the Aeros with 3 seconds on the period. Here's Shargorodsky, shoots, great save, as the buzzer will sound, ending the period. Now we've got Deneen in a battle with Berglund. And I think penalties coming up, but the buzzer has sounded, and this period, I think, is over.
About 10 or 15 seconds ago, Deneen checked Berglund right into the Chicago penalty box. He hit him right along the boards there where there's no glass. That's the penalty box. And he put him right up and over the top. And when they came back, Berglund and Deneen had some words for each other. And there is going to be at least one penalty and maybe matching minor penalties here coming at the 20-minute mark, which we'll tell you about when they sort it out here in just a matter of moments.
All right, 3-2, the Wolves lead it here in the second period intermission. We'll have more after this. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small here in the second period intermission. The Aeros trailing by a score of 3-2, and we had mentioned that it was the birthday of Terry Ruskowski, and Barry Warner felt, hey, what a better way than to chat with the wife of Terry Ruskowski. And Carol was nice enough to talk with Barry Warner. We have that interview next. Barry, take it away.
I'll tell you that, Coach.
What do you do when your husband celebrates his 40th birthday and it's also New Year's Eve? Well, that's a dilemma that the lady to my right has had to put up with for how many years, Mrs. Terry Ruskowski?
Well, I've been celebrating New Year's Eve in arenas with Terry Ruskowski for about 18 years now.
Isn't that romantic, Carol?
He wouldn't know what to do if he actually had to bring me wine and flowers. You know, other than that, I get to watch him spit on the bench and have him yell at the players all the time.
Now, wait a minute. Instead of him having a special night to celebrate the new year with his wife, the mother of his 2 gorgeous daughters, you got to celebrate his birthday. Now, something's not right here.
Well, what's nice about it that he always has lots of people celebrating his birthday, and I think that's the way he likes it. He likes to give them a lot to cheer about, and that's what we're hoping for.
Carol, you've seen your husband since you two were engaged. He was playing as an Aero. You followed him through the NHL and through the various spots in his coaching career. Is it easier to watch your husband out there fighting and getting pummeled, or in a suit and a tie behind the dasher?
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, it was easier to watch him fighting, only because I knew he could take care of himself, and I never worried about it. I worry a lot more because I know, you know, when his team's not doing well, it reflects on him as a coach. We're not just out there worrying about Terry Ruskowski, we're out there worrying about everyone on the ice and everybody on the bench. So it's a lot harder, I think, on him as a coach rather than as a player.
Kate, anything special you got planned for Dad tonight for the Big 4-0?
Yes, a party.
Upstairs, I guess. They've got a big birthday cake in one of the suites afterwards?
Yeah, it says over the hill, finally 40. And when I reminded Terry he was going to be 40, he said, geez, is that all? He said, after all the shootouts we've had this year, I feel at least 50. So I couldn't even get him about his age. He feels a lot older.
Well, let's see if the Aeros can turn things around and help celebrate their coaches' Big 4-0 with a win tonight, and of course the concert afterwards. Let's go back upstairs to the voice of the Houston Aeros, Adam Gordon.
Thanks, Barry, and thank you, Carol and Katie. It's a 3-2 hockey game. Chicago leads it here in the second period intermission, and when we return, we'll look at the highlights from that period next. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small. It's a 3-2 hockey game here in the second period intermission, and the Aeros, you know, it's got to be frustrating as well as they played in that period.
Yeah, they really played a pretty good period, so it's very disappointing to be down 3-2 going into the third period. The first 10 minutes of that second period, they did everything but score. And I don't mean score once. I mean, they could have scored 3-4 times. They held Chicago without a shot on goal. And when Chicago finally got a shot on goal, they put it home to take a 3-2 lead.
And realistically, you know, we talked about the fact that Wendell Young looked shaky. Well, I'll tell you what, that second period, he made some unbelievable saves standing on his head as we take a look at the highlights.
Well, some people are going to say, how shaky can he be? How many saves has he made tonight? The Aeros with 33 shots on goal, so he's made 31 saves. How shaky can the guy be? Makes a big save here. here from the point. Actually, there was a deflection that is up and over the net. The Aeros had plenty of chances on him, point blank, and he makes the stop there. He's been alternately extremely good, extremely lucky, and a little bit shaky. But the Aeros defense makes a mistake, as they did late in the first period. Goslin gets beat here midway through the second period, and Maltais goes right around him, and he puts it home between the pads of Troy Gamble, and that's the difference in the game right now in a 3-2 Chicago lead.
And it has been two mistakes. Goslin, the one you just saw there, and then earlier in that first period. How about late in that first period? The mistake from Steve Jakes. So the Aeros trail 3-2, but still 20 minutes of action to play. It's time for the Columbia HCA scoring summary, and it's very easy, only the 12-minute mark. Steve Maltais gets the goal. It's his 18th of the year from Crowley, and the Aeros find themselves trailing by a score of 3-2. When we return, we'll take a look at the period stats after this. Welcome back to the Summit, everybody. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small, a 3-2 hockey game here in the second period intermission. And before we look at the stats real quickly, the shots on goal, the Aeros out shooting Chicago. Obviously, the thing to do going into the third is keep peppering away at Wendell Young.
Well, and obviously, shots on goal don't win a game for you. You don't get any points for shots on goal. You get points for having more goals than the other guys. It's only a 3-2 game, but I do think, Adam, the next goal in this hockey game, whether it comes early in the third or late, the next goal in this hockey game is the key goal.
Let's take a look at those second period stats, and the Aeros out shooting Chicago 33-20. 31 saves for Wendell Young, 17 for Troy Gamble. The Wolves 1 of 5 on the power play tonight. The Houston Aeros 1 of 6. Both teams with 12 penalties. However, Chicago with 38 minutes and Houston with 46. One side note, Tim Berglund and Kevin Dineen at the 20-minute mark each got slashing minors. So we'll start the third period, both teams with a man down. That might be making things kind of interesting with the open ice there in the third.
Well, we'll see. There's going to be plenty of open ice. It has been pretty much a wide open game. There have been 53 shots on goal through a couple of periods. I don't think anybody's going to suddenly play it close to the vest here in the third period. I think we got a lot of exciting hockey to come here in the third period, and I hope we see the Aeros scoring a few times.
3-2, Wolves lead it, and we'll have the third period next. Along with Russ Small, Adam Gordon with you. We're moments away from the start of the third period. The Wolves leading the Aeros by a score of 3-2. And let's take a look at some more Aero merchandise. And this is a heavyweight 100% cotton t-shirt. And its contrasting team colors features a full front Aeros embroidered logo. Hey, that's Ann Paracchia. Yes, the girlfriend from Mark Freer. She looks very good in this two-color tee. It's available in 3 sizes, medium, large, and extra large. T-shirt makes a great gift for any Aeros fan at $24.95 plus $3.95 shipping and handling. To order, call 1-800-423-2121. 30-day money-back guarantee of satisfaction, so have your credit cards ready and call 1-800-423-2121 and ask for hockey. Then ask for Aeroware. There it is, Ann Paracchia, the girlfriend from Mark Freer, and very, very afraid of flying. Took Mark Freer up flying once, and she came with us. She said, I'll never do that again. But she got that two-color tee for doing that.
I guess you could say she has a fear of flying.
Wow. That was very...
You could say that. You don't have to. You know, I was talking earlier about the terrific crowds we've had here lately, all season really, but tremendous crowds here this week. The Aeros going 0 for their last 2 games and trailing here 3-2. Looking over some things, it's odd but interesting to note how many teams in the International League this year have more points on the road than at home. Even a team like Kalamazoo with 50 points has 32 road points, 18 at home. You got Chicago. They're a sub-500 team here, but they have 19 road points to 15 at home. You got Cincinnati, 24 on the road, 21 at home. Fort Wayne, 15 on the road, 14 at home. Milwaukee, 25 on the road, 24 at home. You got Las Vegas and the Aeros, each even. Las Vegas 22 home and away, and the Aeros in their 38 points this year have 19 road points, 9-7-1, and 19 home points, 8-7-3. So it's kind of interesting how many teams have done even better on the road than at home.
Let's take a look at scores around the IHL. A lot of finals in. Atlanta got by Phoenix 3-2. Cleveland over Cincinnati 7-2. Denver 5, Las Vegas 4. Fort Wayne 3, Milwaukee to Indianapolis, 4-3 over the Soviet Wings in Detroit, leading Kalamazoo 2-1. And there's the final, Peoria 3-2 over Kansas City. So somebody might want to poke that in the Aeros' ear to let them know, hey.
And as I looked at those scores, Adam, only 2 home teams lost tonight. So it's been a pretty good night for the home team.
4-2, by the way, Minnesota beat San Diego tonight. Pocket center ice. It's down along the boards near side. Play whistle down. Russ, I want to carry your point further. You're talking about the road points. Troy Gamble and I talked a little bit before tonight's game, and he brought up an interesting point as we've got
another Chicago Wolf down on the ice. Harkins it is. That's the 3rd time we've seen one of their guys down on the ice, bleeding or otherwise not getting up too quickly.
But to finish the point, Troy and I were talking about your point about road games. He says in the month of December, when the holidays are here, road games are more important to them and better because you don't have the family distractions. You get to go to the hotel and sleep, then go and concentrate. As opposed to a home game, you go to practice, you come home, oh, family's around, maybe got to open gifts, the wife is there or the girlfriend. He says, you know, he knows that when he goes home, his wife says, hey, you got a game tonight, lets him be. On the road, it's a little better. You get a chance to relax.
I think it's a good point, and certainly the way the Aeros played around the holidays proves that point. They played very, very well. That 4-game winning streak coming just before and through the Christmas break, but now they've dropped 2 in a row at home, and we're underway in the 3rd period. In the first minute of the 3rd, and they trail 3-2 to the Wolves.
Locked down, controlled by Chicago, and it's picked up by the Wolves, and here is Sean Rivers. Pass at center ice for Davidson, trying to fire one ahead. Here is Breslin now, cutting it behind the net, tied up by Valamont, still with a puck. Breslin slams it down, Lee Davidson, base of the left circle, behind the cage for Crowley. Crowley now flipped it into the near corner, and the Wolves, remember, we're 4-on-4 hockey to start this period. Trying to lob it along, and finally the Aeros take over. Here's Mark Freer. Send the puck along now for Valamont. Valamont weaving through his own zone, and a cross ice pass for Tippett. 3 men to beat though. Tippett brings the puck in, drops it for Freer. Can't pull the trigger. Lost the puck, and then the Wolves get it out at center. There's Tippett again, trying to boom it in there, but he's drilled off the puck by Steve Maltais. He's had a good game tonight for the Chicago Wolves. Has the go-ahead goal. Duffy for Maltais, left side. Steve Maltais across the Aero line, dumps it into Aero territory, and back is Ariel Chitteroni. Chitteroni jams the puck ahead to center for Tippett. Out is Oleg Shagarovsky across the line. Oleg trying to move around Duffy, cannot do it. Still with a puck though, trying to chase it behind the net. Gord Roberts trying to work Chitteroni off the biscuit. Here come the Wolves now, left to right. Maltais gave it away, and now it is Jakes. Trying to give it to Chitteroni, that is offside. Play halted with almost 2 minutes gone in the 3rd. Aeros trail 3-2.
You know, both of these teams have been involved in a lot of shootouts this year. There's some teams in the league that have only been involved in a few. These two have each been involved in 11 shootouts. Chicago is 5-6, and the Aeros are 7-4. So if the Aeros tie this game and we go to a shootout, it'll be nothing new to either one of these teams. And I got to tell you, Adam, too, that both of these teams playing their 5th game in 6 nights. And it's a pretty gutty performance from all these guys who've got to be tired. 5 games in 6 nights, including, you know, Christmas and all the holiday festivities that you were just talking about, and family and friends and presents and get me extra tickets, I'm coming to town. Here we go.
Here's a quick giveaway, and Clayton Young had to flip one in there, and finally it's worked back to the line. Not out. Shagarovsky held it in, and then he ran into Wendell Young, who blocked Clayton Young. No penalty. That's a good call by the referee there, as Wendell Young kind of shading Clayton Young. Gene Ubriaco wanting a penalty, but won't get it. Now the puck in Aero territory. Mike Maurice watched by Harkins. Clayton Young let it go to center. The Wolves have got it. Crowley. 17:45 to go in the 3rd. Aeros trail 3-2. We're going to get a whistle as offsides the call. 3-2 in favor of the Wolves with 17:42 to play.
And a good lesson that in this game of hockey, no matter what's happening on the ice, or seemingly not happening, at any given second, bam, there could be an offensive opportunity, as was right there. I'm talking about the guys playing real gutty tonight and really giving all out this effort with their 5th game in 6 nights, and suddenly there's a turnover and the Aeros get a chance. So folks, as you listen to the broadcast, as you watch the telecast, as you come on out here, keep your eyes peeled. At any given moment, as we saw late in the first period, things can turn around in a hurry and a good goal scoring chance.
Puck is in Chicago territory, and here is Rivers behind the net. Sean Rivers will move it from left to right. Rivers now carrying up the gut, pass to the far side. Came up for Harkins. That's blown dead on a two-line pass. The face-off will be brought back into Chicago territory with 2.5. Late in the third period, and they haven't announced the attendance yet, but well, they're announcing it right now.
14-6. Yeah, 14-6-95. That's beautiful.
Second largest crowd of the season. I'm not so sure that's a sell. I don't know if that's a sellout or not, because they have the right side of.
I know that kid.
Do you?
And that kid. The small family is here enjoying New Year's Eve.
How much do they pay for their tickets?
I got them for them. Enjoying New Year's Eve with 14,600 and let's see. Well, a lot of other people.
Calamon who shoots it in. Happy New Year to the small family. Ted Crowley behind the net. Rivers, pass Sullivanov. Center ice chopped by Maurice. Stays with the puck. Now over the line with a long shot. Gamble the stick save. Now behind the cage. Here is Carl Valamon. Give it to Mike Maurice, and the Aeros trying to turn it around. Here come the Aeros. Clayton Young, who dumps the puck in. Out of the net, Wendell Young. He'll roam and clear it near side. Crowley trying to get it out of there. He's played a strong game tonight for the Chicago Wolves. Crowley, cross-ice pass over to the left side. It comes back for Sullivanov. Now in after it, trying to feather a pass back down low behind the net. Marion Kassir, but it's taken back by the Aeros. And now Pellerin tipped it to center. 16:43 to go in the third. Aeros really haven't put any offensive pressure yet here in this third period.
But now it looks like Adam Chicago's happy to take it at center ice, dump it in. They're sitting on the lead just a little bit.
Mark Fear takes a tumble at center, and it's batted back into Aero territory. I think Chicago going into their trap right now. This is a classic road play. When you're on the road, keep it simple, play it ugly. I mean, you don't have to play it very well. And right now, Chicago trying to sit on a 3-2 lead. Aeros need to jump up on them here a little bit. Here's a pass, nearly intercepted by Kevin Deneen. Gillingham in a battle with Deneen along the boards. It's popped away by Jakes, and now a chance for Davidson. Lee Davidson, left side, watched by Jakes. Davidson still with a puck though. Sends one in along for Timmy Breslin, circling at a left point. He'll roll it right back into Aero territory. Gamble out of the net. He'll spank it along the boards. Knock down Davidson. Centering pass, jammed away. Slide into the corner. Shargarotsky can't clear. Now the Wolves starting to go to work here. Todd Gillingham, base of the right circle. Aero territory. He's checked by the Aeros. Is that Freer in there? Now to the near side for Scott Arneal. 4.5 gone in the third. Arneal at center. Pass off the stick of Freer, and it's rejected by the Wolves. Here comes Chicago now. Pass at center is intercepted again by the Aeros, and now it is Arneal. Scott Arneal trying to move it in. Arneal down the right side. He bumped by Roberts, and it's flipped to center ice. Just nothing going right now for the Aeros offensively. Valama to Chitteroni. Couldn't advance it anymore. Here is Robinson for the Aeros. He'll shoot the puck in. It'll go behind. No, it took a weird hop. Came right out to Wendell Young. He almost gave that away to Chitteroni. Now it is Ed Courtney trying to clear it. He takes a whack from Dave Tippett. Now Chitteroni pulls his body in there. Gordy Roberts trying to clear it up to the line, and it's out to center ice. And here come the Wolves now. Ed Courtney across the line. Makes the move. Shoots at a left hand save by Gamble. That could have been deadly for the Aeros. Here is Hackborn for Chitteroni. He's bumped by Jack Duffy on defense, but Chitteroni down on his knees, able to shoot it into Chicago territory. Aeros trail 3-2, but have yet to put a shot on Wendell Young. Oleg Shargarodsky now at center. Pass brought in. Hackborn pulls up, shoots a weak one. That goes wide of the net. Now Tippett behind the net. He takes a bump from Courtney. Now Wendell Young pops it away. Hackborn turns one in. Loose puck in the slot. Here is Chitteroni trying to turn it. Mario Chitteroni with it over to Hackborn. Left side, center. Tippett couldn't get the shot away. It was blocked by the Wolves, and now Berglund for Chicago. Get it out to center. Chitteroni takes his man along the board. And now the Wolves at center. They'll bring it in. Ed Courtney at the line, and he'll just dump it in. The Wolves come off for a line change with 6 minutes gone in the third. Aeros trail 3-2. Here is Clayton Young. He's got a goal tonight. In my mind has 2 as he deflected that second one, but they still haven't changed it. And now Wendell Young out of the net to the near side. Knocked down by Yo, but Harkins has got it, and it's right back into Aero territory. Valamont's got to hustle back. He skated much better tonight. He's having a little trouble with Al Secord, though. Now in the corner, it's picked up by the Aeros. Yo can't clear the zone. Held in by Ian Kidd, but knocked down by Robinson. And the Aeros now the chance. Maurice at center. Maurice hits the line. In on goal. Shoots. Glove saved by Wendell Young. Best opportunity of the period, and Wendell Young got a glove on it. Now, here come the Wolves the other way. Across the line. Sullivanov shoots. And Gamble down. Makes the save. Rebound. Just going wide, and it was covered up. up, and finally they'll blow play dead and we take timeout. 13-14 to go here in the third. 3-2 Chicago. We'll be back.
At Southwest Airlines, some of our most important projects never get off the ground. Like our Hearts and Hammers project, which rejuvenated housing in a Dallas neighborhood. Or Project Cover Up, where we painted over graffiti in business districts and neighborhoods in San Francisco. Why are some of our most rewarding projects so down to earth? Because we're not a company of planes. We're a company of people.
What if they let me play? I could show them a thing or two. I'd dribble left, right, eye that seam, take it up in their faces, show them the ball, then cross over, drive the lane, calmly display my 360 reverse windmill jam.
Elijah Watt and Meshburn. You gotta let these big boys play.
Yeah, if they let me play, I'd paint a white stripe down their backsides and I'd skunk them. 11 zip, fellas. Who's got next?
Mavs, Rockets, Thursday night at 7:30, live on HSE.
It's a 3-2 hockey game. Chicago leading it, but Troy Gamble being tested here in this third period.
Well, it was Ed Courtney just a moment or two ago. He comes in, makes a good move as he pulls it behind Rob Robinson and gets a good short side shot away on Gamble, but Troy makes a terrific save. Low on his glove side and keeps it a 3-2 game. The Aeros trying to get an offense generated here in the third period. They have outshot Chicago in the first two periods, and they're even up in the third, but they trail the Wolves 3-2 with 13-14 to play in the third period. New Year's Eve, and a terrific crowd of almost 15,000 on hand here at the Summit.
Here is McDonald, lets the shot go. It's blocked, and now Arneal scoops one for Kevin Dineen, a man to beat Roberts. Dineen trying to make the move, cannot do it. Dineen trying to kick it down. Roberts pins Dineen along the boards. Now Arneal had it feathered through him, and now Todd Harkins back in the near corner. He'll cycle it back along the boards for Secord. Can he clear it? No. Held in by Dineen. Long shot, and a kick saved by Wendell Young. Now on the boards, it's again to the line. Not out. Jakes Wine shoots deflected. I think Young got a piece of it. Freer looking to center it. He's got Kevin McDonald on his case. Now trying to shake him loose. And it's in the corner. Freer trying to bat it free, but it's fished out by McDonald and cleared to the near side. And Chicago's got it at center. Harkins trying to split the D. He's sandwiched by Shargorodsky and Jakes him down he goes. Now, here is Scott Arneal. Cross ice pass for Dineen. Trying to feather Hackborn. That's intercepted, and the Wolves turn it around. Selavanoff sidestep that Jakes check. Selavanoff in, but Robinson will jam him along the boards. Jakes tried that big open ice hit, and it almost cost his team when he missed it, but the Aeros turn it around. Tippett for Hackborn. Wine shoots right on. Great save by Young. Tippett came smoking in there, trying to pick up a loose rebound, but couldn't get it in there. Now Breslin the other way across the line for Chicago. Breslin, base of the right circle, centered it. That's swatted away by Campbell. Now Chitteroni, he plays it away. Trying to feather Hackborn, can't play it off a hop. And now it is Breslin circling near side. Down low, Marion Kassir. He's shouldered by Robinson. Chitteroni is there. He'll work it to Len Hackborn, and the Aeros turn it around. Hackborn at center. He'll just fire it down the ice. This will produce an icing call. As the Wolves go back, Sean Rivers to touch and play halted. We'll take time out. 11.5 to play here in the third. 3-2 Chicago. And we'll be back.
Excuse me, Shutty.
In the NFL, there's only one sports drink, and it's gotta be Gatorade.
get up and grab a sandwich. How will this do for you as the Wolves lead 3-2? Harkins going in, and he was pumped in there by Karuskowski and Jakes. Aeros trailing 3-2 right now, looking to get that equalizing goal. And Russ, your comment in the intermission about the next goal being big just gets magnified as each minute ticks off here.
You know, time's running out. I mean, there's plenty of time left, 11:27. But, you know, we keep saying plenty of time left, and all of a sudden you're at the 19-minute mark and you're in trouble.
Karuskowski now in behind the net. He'll play the puck to the near side. Young trying to clear it. Now Maurice off to the races, but turn around Crowley. Batted away by Maurice. Offside's the call on the Houston Aeros, and the face-off will be back at center.
Just a moment or two ago before the break, the Arneal and Freer line had a couple of good opportunities, and they had good chances earlier in the game. I would look for a guy like Mark Freer, maybe a Scott Arneal, to get a good opportunity. I mean, a real good opportunity. Maybe score the tying goal here. Maybe even as early as their next shift on the ice. They are guys, they're veterans, they're goal scorers. They know what to do in this kind of a situation. They know when to make the break, when to jump into the hole and get it going. And I think they're going to get a good chance.
Here's Ted Crowley in his own zone for the Wolves. Slipped one out for Berglund. He'll hit the line now. Tim Berglund shoots it into Aero territory. Gamble able to slow it. Now it is Steve Jakes. Jakes will turn it up the right side. A pass intercepted. Here's a drive by Maltais. Gamble to save, and he'll hold on. And again, the turnovers continue. In fact, so much we haven't even seen Steve Goslin in this third period.
Well, you know, Steve Jakes must have done his shopping at the after Christmas sales, because he's been treating tonight like it's Christmas Eve instead of New Year's Eve. Giveaway late in the first period really hurt the Aeros, and this giveaway almost killed them.
Face off in the circle to the right side of that man, Troy Gamble, and the Aeros trying to get the equalizer down a goal with 10:55 left in the third.
Troy was mad at himself midweek last week for his third period effort against Kansas City a couple of nights ago, but he has acquitted himself in the third period here, making some big stops to keep it a 3-2 game.
Here's Rob Robinson for Houston at center ice. Hits the line with Freer and Arneal. A weak shot, stick save made by Wendell Young. Aeros have only maybe put one or two quality chances on him. Here's Courtney for Chicago. He'll move it out to center ice for Berglund, trying to snap one ahead. That's blocked by the Aeros. Kevin Deneen in there. Robinson knocked it free, but it comes back into Houston territory, and here is Mark Freer drifting in behind his net. Freer with some open ice to work now. Let's see what he can do with it. Freer, he's bumped, trying to find a man to pass to. He's got Arneal. That's tipped away, and now it is Rob Robinson. Out for Freer. He'll shoot it in, but it's quickly rejected by Al Secord. And the Aeros just not mustering any offense in this third period now. Lock is in. Here's a quick shot and a stick save by Troy Gamble. That was a quick surprise from Alexander Selivanov. Now Arneal. A pass. Kevin Deneen. It was behind him. Had to go back at center to get it. And it's taken back by the Wolves. And now Al Secord hits the line, trying to get by Goslin. Goslin in his first shift here in the third, and the puck shot by Secord behind the net. Now the near side. Worked by the Wolves, but now Goslin who fell. It's going to be Selivanov who gets it behind the net. Selivanov worked it back and centered, but Arneal turns it around late in the shift, though. Laboring up the ice. Arneal, a pass for Deneen. Long shot right on. Wendell Young directs the rebound near side. Here's Clayton Young for Arneal. Can't find the handle. Sean Rivers turns it around as the Aeros make some changes on the go here. Selivanov got through the Chitteroni check, and it swept into Aero territory, but Karuskowski will circle back and start it out of his zone. Pass out now for Chitteroni. Aeros need one. They trail 3-2. Pocket center. Tippett trying to move it ahead. It goes into Chicago territory. Here's Ted Crowley with 9 minutes to go. Time slowly becoming a factor. Aeros trail 3-2. Here's Chicago now. Sean Rivers. Pass at center. Knocked by Robinson. And here is Carl Valamont in his own zone. Valamont for Dave Tippett. Hits the line with Hackford. Tippett winds it right and let go. And a great poke check by Young. And a centering pass by Tippett. I don't think Hackford expected the return pass. And here comes Chicago now. It is Tim Breslin. Shoots it in Aero territory. Robinson is back. Well, they've had some chances here, and they can't seem to get it by Wendell Young. Tippett now. Shoots it in. Stick save by Young. Jammed it back behind the net. It'll come to the near side. Courtney bumped by Tippett. They go at it skate to skate along the near boards. Courtney Roberts in there as well. Now fished in there for Chitteroni. It's in skates. Play going on as they grind it out along the boards. And finally, Tippett, does he have it? Yeah, he's got it. Then it's back in the scrum again. Now Now some more scrumming going on, and finally it is Kevin McDonald. He'll work it to center ice as Steve Jakes unloads on Steve Maltais. And here is Maurice. A pass for Jakes. Leaving out at center ice. Here is Maurice now. Shoots it into Chicago territory. First one there is Graham Townsend. He's checked hard off the puck. Now a centering pass. Right in on goal. Jake shoots. And I think it was blocked by Young. He just missed it wide. Maurice now snapped it down with a no-look pass. And the Aeros right now can't afford to be getting fancy.
Jake's with a good chance, though, out in front. That one really could easily have been the equalizer. Somebody got a piece of it, Young or somebody else, and kept it out of the net. But a good opportunity here. 7.5 minutes to play.
Shargoronsky now across the line, trying to move around Rivers. Lost the puck. Rivers popped it away. Townsend trying to work it free in the scrum. Rivers, checked by Maurice. Now, Greer. Base of the right circle, centered it, but it went behind the net. Sullivanov now jammed it back to the line atop the center ice, and Marian Kassir's got a man to beat in Shargoronsky. Kassir, wide, shoot! Ooh, that just sizzled wide of the net. Here is Carl Valamon now as the action starting to open up a little bit here in the third period, which could benefit the Aeros. Right now, the only thing that's benefiting, the thing that's not benefiting is the scoreboard, which says 3-2 Chicago, and now 6:45 left, and the time continues to dwindle.
I think fatigue is becoming a factor here, Adam. The thing is, when you're ahead 3-2, you don't feel the fatigue as much as when you're behind 3-2, which is what the Aeros are.
Rob Robinson now behind his net. 6.5 to go. They just need one to tie. Arneal through center. A lead pass for Clayton Young, a bit too far. Arneal's got to regroup in center. Give it over to Steve Gosler. Shoot it into Chicago territory. Send behind the net. Back is Ian Kidd. Jammed away. I think Deneen got a piece of that. Now Lee Davidson sends it up to Todd Gillingham. And up the right wing towards he comes. Gillingham. Work to pass into Aero territory. Gamble out of the net. He'll reverse it through Breslin. And now it's turned around by Mark Freer. Aeros trying to catch the Wolves in a line change. But it's Gosler now. Nice pass for Arneal. Can he catch up to it? Yes. Centered one. And that's a couple of tough passes for Scott Arneal.
Well, if he centers it in the right place, he's sending two men in. 2-on-1. It would have been Young and Deneen 2-on-1, but he misses that first pass.
Now the puck in Chicago territory, and Kevin McDonald behind the cage, sends it along the boards, pinching his Chitteroni. Can he hold it in? Yes, for Dave Tippett. Long shot wide of the net. Hackborn in after it. It pushed away by the Wolves. McDonald gently rolled it near side. Tippett in there, but it's Chicago who comes to center ice. Here is Maltais. Shoots it into Aero territory. Out of the net, it is Gamble. He will wait and patiently hand it over to Jakes with only 5:19 left. Jakes, a pass for Tippett. Trying to work it ahead, but it's taken back by the Wolves, and it's cleared by Roberts all the way back down the ice.
So they're happy. Chicago's happy to dump it in. Make Gamble skate a little bit. Make the Aeros defenseman go back, handle the puck, get a little more tired, going back quickly to get it. Chicago's happy from center ice to dump it in and make the Aeros work.
All right, let's take time out. Chicago leads 3-2. 5 minutes to play. Do not go away. Back after this.
Where do you go when you want to have fun?
I'm out on the course every chance I get.
I play soccer and Little League and basketball and football.
I go fishing with my grandson.
But first, we go to Oshman Super Sports.
Where I can try all the newest clubs right here in the store.
This store is bigger than Lake Travis.
One store has all the fun. Oshman Super Sports.
They're big, they're dumb, they're having lots of fun. They're tough men. They train in bar rooms and back alleys, but this time it's legal. The winners get a briefcase full of bugs. The losers get 2 aspirin and a free night's deep sleep. Real punches, real wild, real men. All with eyes for the prize and competing for World Tough Man. The Midwestern Regional, Tuesday night at 11 on HSE.
It's been a night of good chances for Len Hackborn, but just not able to get it done. As Tippett will send and spring Hackborn in, but just couldn't quite get it as it rolled off his stick.
Yeah, he's had some good chances, and unfortunately hasn't been able to put them on goal. We remember one early in the game where he tried to one-time it on the off wing. It was a tough shot to make, a good good chance. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but if he had done it on goal, the Aeros would have had one more goal. This one here just deflects slightly wide of the net. This could have been the equalizer here. So he's skating well, had a couple of good chances, but couldn't put either one of them home.
It seems like a game of what ifs. What if Jakes doesn't make a mistake or Goslin doesn't make a mistake? What if Hackborn puts any one of the two chances he's had in?
But every game is that way.
Sure. Here's a chance in front, and it was overskated by Townsend. Now Clayton Young turns, trying to work it down. It came out to center ice.
Just the fact that they're getting some more chances here. The first 10 or 12 minutes of this period, they didn't give any chances. They're starting to get some more chances, the Aeros, and may yet get the equalizer and send this to a shootout.
Now Chargorodski trying to get it out at center, and the Wolves are offside. The faceoff will come to center ice.
I'll give Chicago credit. They came out with a game plan in this third period to not make a mistake. They get to center ice with it to dump it in the zone and dump it out of their own zone, and they've stuck to that game plan.
Let's take time out. 3-2 Chicago. 4:40 left. Happy New Year. We'll be back.
Flying to Dallas for business? If these 35 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to Dallas, maybe this will. With the most flights at the lowest unrestricted fares, it's no wonder that Southwest is the low-fare airline.
Before 1994 passes you by, get to your Texas Ford dealer for year-end clearance savings. Take your best chance to choose from the largest inventory ever. Get low 2.9% financing on the best-selling car in America, Ford Taurus, or up to $1,000 cash back on a new Escort. Every 94 and 95 Ford is clearance price to move. Put it all in January 4th. See your Texas Ford dealer for year-end clearance before these deals pass you by.
Along with Russ Small, I'm Adam Gordon. 4:40 left. Time, yes. Effort there, but nothing to show for it yet here in the third.
Still 4:40 left, and I still believe the Aeros have a couple of good shots left in them tonight. And they can squeeze one of them by Wendell Young, and they'll send this to a shootout where they've had some success. Trying to snap a little two-game losing streak, which has come right in the heels of a four-game winning streak.
Off the face-off now. Aeros have got it. Robinson in his own zone. A pass for Oleg Chargorodski. Trying to jam one ahead to Dean, but that's rejected by Duffy. And the puck out of play, and it's halted with 4:29 left. You know, one thing I will say about what I have seen so far in this third period is just errant passing by the Aeros.
Well, they're good. You know, I think fatigue has something to do with that. Yeah. 5 games in 6 nights. The Wolves have not tried to make any super passes in this third period, so it's hard to notice the same thing on them. They've been happy in their own zone when they get the puck to flip it up to center ice. They've been happy when at center ice to just flip it into the Aero zone. They've been happy at the blue line, just dump it in behind the net. So you can't notice that they haven't made many crisp passes. They haven't tried.
Here is a puck down to the near side as Wendell Young taking a chance to play it. He'll come to the line, Chargorodski, and again he can't hold it in. I can't believe Oleg has had this many problems here. It's going to be an offsides call. Oleg's just having trouble holding the puck in here the last couple of games.
That's along the near boards here, so we're blocked out. Impossible to see just what happened down there. I know that the ice here, as the game wears on, gets a little rough in some spots. And one of the spots that gets roughest is right along the board. So it may have hit something, may have jumped up on edge, may have jumped right over the stick. It didn't look like the puck was moving all that quickly that it should have, beat him outside the line. But I'm sure the ice or the puck or something happened to make it skip right over his stick.
Freer, Arneal, Deneen with Goslin and Valamont.
This may be the chance for this line that I was talking about.
Chicago wins the draw, and here is Ted Crowley. He'll move in behind his net. We're down to 4 minutes now left to play here in the third period.
Maybe this line's last shift.
Crowley in behind the net, playing peekaboo with Freer and Deneen. Get it out to center. Goslin has to hustle back. Maltais trying to work it free. They're going to say that is offsides in the face-off at center ice.
But again, that's all Chicago wanted to do. They got it out of their zone. They got it through center ice. They made the Aeros spend a little more energy, skate back quickly, get there just to tie get up, they get a face-off at center ice, they'll be happy to kill 10 or 15 or 20 seconds at a time just by flipping it out, flipping it around the ice.
This has been a great road game for Chicago. They have played this road game to utter perfection. They waited and waited. They knew that the Aeros would make some mistakes. They jumped on them. Yeah. And they lead 3-2.
Yeah, you're right. And they hung in there until they got a lead. Once they got a lead, they have played this third period very well with a one-goal lead.
Jakes to Valamon at center ice. He'll shoot it in. Back go the Wolves. Ted Crowley hustling back to play the puck in the near corner in his own zone. Gave it away to Kevin Deneen, though, right side, but he can't center it. He had Secord on his case. Now Arneal behind the net, trying to jam it along. Missed Freer with a pass. Valamon was pinching, but Freer's got it. Now for Arneal, had that tipped away. In the corner now, Deneen in to have a look at it, but it is Arneal for the Aeros. Rolled it along. Boy, Wendell Young likes to roam a little bit here. He was going to play it, but Maltais is able to clear it down the ice. Now Gamble, he wants to play it, but instead it'll be Jakes. Aeros make changes. Valamon worked it up for Freer, trying to jam it ahead, but it's cleared by Roberts out at center. Jakes now booms one back into Chicago territory on the delayed offside. Aeros regroup at center. Roberts back behind the net. Sends a pass out to the left side for Lee Davidson. Cross ice now. It's Gillingham. Todd Gillingham shoots it in, and back go the Aeros. I don't think Chicago's going to carry it over the blue line much more here in this game unless they got wide open chance, but they're not in any hurry. Here's Chitteroni now. Nice pass. Hackburn, and it goes right off his stick. McDonald will fire it in and back out of the net. It's Troy Gamble. 2:40 to play here in the third. 3-2 Chicago. Robinson for Hackborn. Takes it into Chicago territory. Wendell Young out of the cage, trying to move it along. In the corner, Harkins has Chitteroni locked up, and finally play will be halted. And the good news is that the Aeros will get a face-off to the left of Wendell Young.
I believe Barry Warner is celebrating New Year's Eve with some fans. Barry?
5-4. I'm not the only Houstonian dressed in a tux tonight. You got your young man with you. Where's the wife?
Oh, she's up and around somewhere. We'll go get her later after the game.
You always dress like this for a hockey game, or is it Doug Supernaw and New Year's Eve making you do it?
Well, New Year's Eve has something to do with it, but normally for hockey games, this is how you should dress.
And how about you? How much fun is this, going to a hockey game and then seeing a concert?
Great.
That's it? Yeah, he goes to these hockey games all the time. Of course, Mighty Ducks was probably his premier show that he saw and got him into hockey.
Now the puck is in Chicago territory. The Aeros trying to bang one off the side of the net. It's out at center for Len Hackborn. Chitteroni trapped in the zone right now, and the Aeros can't bring it in. 2 minutes left, and we'll start to keep an eye on Troy Gamble here. Shargorodsky trying to shake a check loose, but the Wolves are back in their own zone. Here is Duffy, and he'll shoot it. That's up. That's in his own bench, and the faceoff now will come in Chicago territory with 1:57 left.
Good that the faceoff is coming in Chicago territory, and had there been less time left, I think this could be the occasion to take Troy Gamble out. But there's too much time. 1:57, I think, is too early for Terry Ruskowski to pull Troy Gamble. Another 50 seconds or so, maybe another half minute. We may see Troy.
Faceoff will be the top of the circle to the right side of Wendell Young. And are we going to get a stick measurement here? The Aeros now pulling out all stop. Here's the deal. If it is found to be an illegal curve or an illegal stick, the Aeros are going to get a 2-minute power play. That's good news. But the bad news is, if it isn't, to delay a game penalty, and the Aeros will finish this game shorthanded.
If you're going to make this kind of a challenge to a stick, you better be real sure that it exceeds the amount of curvature it is allowed.
Kevin Atchison now pulls it out. He's going to look at it.
Remember, early in the season, Barry Warner showed us the story of guys preparing their sticks, shaving them down. It could be the curve. It could be how much it's shaved off the blade. Measuring the curve down there.
Yeah, the outside of the curve. And unfortunately, I can't see it without Secord in the way, but we're going to see it. The Aeros coming away, and are they shaking their heads? They're measuring the diameter of the stick.
Yeah, see, I don't think it's the curve. It's how tall the blade is.
And right now, I don't know. I mean, the Wolves still kind of protesting. I'm thinking maybe the Aeros are going to get a power play here, and they're keeping the stick. Yeah, are they? Well, still don't know yet.
Yeah, they're autographing it.
Yeah, thanks. Can I have that? So,
are they giving it back? Are they keeping? I'm not sure. Nothing up on the board yet. Yes.
Well, yeah, there goes the stick. So the Aeros are going to get a 2-minute power play. And there it is, up on the board. And now the Aeros will finish this game on the power play, unless, of course, they score. They'll set it up. Freer, Deneen, Arneal, Shagarodsky, Tippett. And watch Gamble. We've got 1:57 left. That means if the Aeros don't get it within the next 57 seconds, Gamble will come in. That'll be a 6-on-4 tag.
And you can be sure that it was a lot earlier than this in this game that somebody noticed that stick and just waited for the moment that they might have to report it. And so it's a power play for the Aeros.
But the Aeros, you know, the key face-offs, you got to win them, and they don't here, and they got to start back in their own end. Tippett now. He'll start the rush right to left. Get it out to Mark Freer. Skating at center ice. Lost the puck, and it shot right back down. The other thing you have to remember is if you have to pull Gamble because you're shorthanded, Chicago can shoot it down at will. They don't worry about the icing. Here is Arneal, and the Aeros right now just stumbling on this power play. They're not even getting it generated. They've got a minute and a half to go in the hockey game, trailing by 1. Tippett, get it to the knee across the line. He'll shoot it in after it. It's Wendell Young to stop. He played it ahead to Maltais, and right back down the ice it goes. What a time to have the worst start on a power play. The Aeros now turn it around. Dave Tippett worked it up the right side. Kevin Deneen dumps opposite corner now. Back is McDonald. It's cleared to the line, not out. Tippett held it in. Cross ice pass for Scott Arneal. 1 minute to go in the hockey, and Campbell now to the bench. 6-on-4 for the Aeros. Here's the puck now. Arneal, net is empty. Worked it down. Right into the shot. Stopped by Young. The rebound, bang away at it. It's cleared to center ice. Tippett's got to hustle back. 51 seconds to go. Tippett's really got to hustle, but the puck now just goes wide. 47 seconds to play. 3-2 Chicago. Aeros have an extra attacker. 6-on-4 on the power play. Tippett jammed the puck into Chicago territory. First one there, Maurice. Can't play the puck, but now on Arneal. Back to the line. Shagarodsky. Long shot blocked. Just sliced wide of the net. Now Maurice for Tippett. Trying to center it. It's jammed away, and the Wolves will turn, and it's out at center, and shot right back down the ice.
One more rush.
That is it. Arneal now will quickly and turn, heading up ice. Here he comes, Arneal, through the neutral zone. Backhands one in, but it's going to go right to Wendell Young. It's boomed along the boards, and that will do it. The Aeros just could not get it done tonight, and they're going to lose this hockey game. Puck is in their own zone, and this one is over, and the Aeros have now lost 3 in a row. Buzzer sounds, and a tough loss. This will be a tough pill to swallow. As hard the Aeros work tonight, as well as the Aeros work tonight. Again, defensive mistakes, and Terry Ruskowski can only shake his head and wonder what's it going to take to help out his blue line right now. 3-2 the final. The Wolves get a huge road win, and we'll have more from the Summit. And after this.
Today's Houston Aeros broadcast has been brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Flying the low-fare airline is just plain smart. By Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment to healthcare together. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. When you're thirsty, it's gotta be Gatorade.
Welcome back to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Russ Small. We're hoping to get a chance to talk with Steve Maltais eventually here. The Chicago Wolves defeat the Houston Aeros 3-2. And again, reiterating the point, the Aeros, this is going to be a tough pill for them to swallow because they played so well tonight. I think they finished with 45 shots on goal. The offense worked very hard, but I got to tell you, it was some key defensive turnovers that not hurt them, killed them tonight. And the Aeros now have lost 3 in a row. But one guy that played outstanding tonight for the Chicago Wolves was team captain Steve Maltais, and he's standing by with Russ Small. Steve, or Russ?
Adam, thank you very much. Steve Maltais is with me here. A hard-earned couple of points for the Chicago Wolves here in the Summit tonight.
Definitely, I think, in the last couple months, every game's been tough for us. So, it's nice to squeak one out here. I think, we just did the little things. I think we played Milwaukee last time, and we're just getting away from our game plan a lot, and I think we did the little things well tonight, and got a couple power play goals, and it was a big win for us.
Well, one of the little things you did tonight was jump on opportunities. For instance, yourself and Courtney late in the second period, I think the goal that really turned this game around, a giveaway, and you took advantage with just seconds left on the clock.
I think so. I think we've been getting a lot of chances of late, and the puck just hasn't been going in for us. And it's tough to be positive, but I mean, you just keep shooting, good things happen. That was the key of being opportunistic. We got a little giveaway there, and we capitalized on it. And it was a great play by Eddie Courtney.
What was keeping you in the game mentally? I think there was a time there, for instance, the first goal that you got in the second period came on your first shot. It was 12 minutes into the period. You didn't have a shot. You were getting outshot by better than 2-1, and yet you were in the game and still, sticking to your game plan. Mentally, what was being done individually and collectively to keep you guys in the game?
Well, I just think, first of all, Wendell Young did a great job just keeping us in there. He's been playing well for us all year, and we just kind of fed off that. I think we've been making the strong plays, especially tonight at both blue lines, whether it be getting the puck out or getting it in. And I think it was just a matter of being patient, and we got an opportunity, and fortunately it went in for us, and turned out to be a pretty big goal.
In terms of getting it out and getting it in, that was your third period game plan. You had the lead, and it was just when you come up with it in your end, get it out of the zone. When you're in neutral ice, just dump it in, I think, and trying to make the Aeros defensemen and the Aeros in general work in that third period just to go back and get it.
I think so. I think, they got a pretty good group of veterans up front. And, if you turn the puck over in your own end or even in the neutral zone, you're asking for trouble. So, we had to make sure we made the little plays to get it out and just be strong all over the ice. As I said, they got a good group of forwards, and we respected them, and, we did the little things out there.
Well, Steve Maltais with a big goal late in the second period that turned this game around, and a good overall game for you. Chicago Wolves come in here and beat the Aeros, so we offer you congratulations, though we hated to see it, and we wish you Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I'm Russ Small, 3-2 the final score. Chicago beats the Aeros, and that's it from downstairs. Back upstairs to Adam.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you, Steve, and Steve Maltais, and also our Southwest Airlines play of the game as Steve Goslin's got him dead to rights, but a nice move by Maltais, and all of a sudden he's dead to lefts as Maltais goes in and beats Troy Gamble, and that is your Southwest Airlines play of the game, also your game-winning goal as the Chicago Wolves win it tonight by a score of 3-2. Aeros record now goes to 17-15-4, 38 points, and what makes it tougher is that Kansas City lost tonight to Peoria, and so again the Aeros lose an opportunity to get second place back. And right now, I think the best thing that the Aeros have is time. They don't play until Wednesday, and that'll be against the Denver Grizzlies. So let's take you back now to the first period for the Columbia HCA scoring summary. Back in the first period, things were going great for the Aeros. Clayton Young from Steve Jakes and Carl Valamont, 2:37 into it. Aeros had a 1-0 lead, but a good power play goal to follow at 13:25 for Todd Harkins. He got his 14th of the year power play. And then the Aeros came back. Oleg Shargorodski deflected a Dave Tippett shot. I still think Clayton Young deflected, but Shargorodski gets the goal. Tippett and Arneal on the assist. But here's where it went from bad to worse. Steve Maltais gets his first goal of the game, first of two at 19:49. Compliments of a Steve Jakes turnover. Ed Courtney got the only assist. And then in the second period, it would be Steve Maltais again, this time going right around Steve Goslin at the 12-minute mark of the second period from Crowley. And the Aeros fall by a score of 3-2. The Aeros put up a fantastic effort. They got a little slow start in the third period, but they came back. But realistically, it just was not there. They even tried the old illegal stick routine to end the game on a power play, but it could not work. Wendell Young stopping whatever he faced, and the Aeros fall 3-2. Take a look at tonight's final stats brought to you by Billy Blues Restaurants. Aeros they'll outshoot Chicago 45-27. 43 saves tonight for Wendell Young, 24 for Troy Gamble, who played pretty well tonight. The power plays, Chicago finishes 1 of 5. Houston goes 1 of 7. So they now have 3 power play goals in their last 37 power plays. So, right now, it is really in a slump. The Aeros have got to turn that around, and they'll have a chance Wednesday against the Denver Grizzlies. 13 penalties for the Chicago Wolves for 40 minutes. So our next HSE Aeros Broadcasting Network game will be Wednesday night at 7 o'clock when Houston hosts the Denver Grizzlies. Again, tonight's final score here in Houston, the Chicago Wolves 3, the Houston Aeros Aeros 2 for Russ Small, for Barry Warner. This is Adam Gordon saying good night from the summit. And have a very happy New Year.